Championship. The city has hosted the finals in the past 2 years and is used to the build-up and excitement of crowning a new world champion. 2019, it was one of their own. Poland's Bartosz Marslik, only the third Polish rider in the history of the sport to ever win the world title. 1 year on, and the world, along with the sport, has changed. The COVID-19 pandemic has made a major impact on everyone's lives, including the sport. Clubs and riders have felt the financial pressure of not having income or full stadiums. In Poland, the Extraliga has been able to run a shortened programme, partially behind closed doors, and it's the success of the league, living by the rules of testing and riders' self-isolation, that the Speedway Grand Prix Series has been able to hold a 2020 World Championship. 8 rounds over 4 weekends, which included a trip 2 weeks ago across the border to Prague, has allowed us to successfully arrive here in Torun for the penultimate and final round of the 2020 season. Testament to all those involved in organising this year's World Championship. The first weekend of the new double-header format kicked off in Wrocław, when we saw our Warriors of Shale straight into action, with a win for Russia's Artem Laguta, followed 24 hours later by Polish club favourite Maciej Janowski, who fought off a strong challenge from club teammate Ty Woffernan to the victory, much to the delight of the partisan crowd to win round 2. Gorzów hosted rounds 3 and 4, started with a spectacular crash by Artem Laguta in Heat 1. Home favourite Bartosz Marslik looked unstoppable on the night despite the gallant effort of Australia's Jason Doyle in white in the final. The win would put the current world champion firmly into the title race. Round 4, it was the turn of Sweden's Freddie Lindgren to dominate. The Swede, up until this point, had reached all 3 previous finals and very much looked like the form man as he reached final number 4. Despite the good start from Doyle in white, it was Lindgren in yellow who'd pass him down the back straight and into a lead he'd hold until the finish line. The talking point of the final waited until the final corner of the last lap, when a move by Madsen for second place nearly took out Doyle, something the Australian wasn't best pleased about. So after round 4 of the World Championship, Sweden's Freddie Lindgren now led with 66 points, 7 points in front of Gorzów hero Bartosz Marslik. It would only be a week's respite before the World Championships arrived in the beautiful and romantic city of Prague for rounds 5 and 6. It proved to be a tense and nervous first night for the riders, as gating was to prove key. A crash involving home favourite Vaclav Milik and Edward Krushmar early on didn't help matters. The night, though, belonged to a resurgent Pole in the form of Bartosz Marslik, as the 2019 World Champion cruised to the final and eventually his first ever win in the Marketa Stadium. 24 hours later, Marslik in blue would line up in the final alongside Woffernan in white, Doyle in yellow and Lindgren in red. A great start by the former world champion in white would see him take the lead down the back straight for 3.5 laps. Marslik would track Woffernan into the final lap. As Woffernan drifted wide in turn 2, the Pole took the opportunity to pass and then took the checkered flag to his second successive victory and third of the 2020 campaign.
This is unbelievable, really, because I very time good feeling the tie, and I say to my bike, come on, babe, I'm feeling fast and just do it, yes.
So Bartosz Marslik takes a healthy 7-point lead into this weekend's final 2 rounds. Sweden's Freddie Lindgren is his nearest challenger on 92, with Britain's Ty Woffernan 3 further points adrift in third. It looks very much like the 2020 World Championship Speedway title is between those 3, given the gap to the rest. Live from the Marion Rose Motor Arena, the scene setter for the FST Grupa Brokieżka Torun FIM Speedway Grand Prix of Poland, round number 7 of 8 in the World Championship. And we are up to the first race of the evening. The boys are out there ready to go. And it promises to be a terrific night of racing. This is how the point system works, of course, with the top 8 riders going into the semi-finals and then the final. And the final is where you make your big gains, because you open up a 2-point gap on the night over your nearest rival, however high you go in the final. A good opening lineup then, the first race of the night in the Marion Rose Motor Arena in Torun. The final weekend of the season, a shortened season, and we're about to get underway. Here we go with the first race of round 7. Max Frick going off the inside in red. Then it's Jason Doyle, his fellow Australian, has been in good form of late. Gate 2 in blue. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the Dane, an injury replacement this season for Martin Smadowski off 3. And Martin Vasilik, the Slovakian, going off the outside in yellow. He's had a tricky season outside of the top 6. So this weekend, we've got the title, we've got the top 3, we've got the top 6, all to be decided. Kelvin Tatum, MBE, alongside me, Kelv. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so. We're down to the crunch time now, the last 2 rounds of the championship, and thoroughly looking forward to it. Jason Doyle has been terrific since the opening 2 rounds in Wroclaw. He's former Torun rider, of course. He knows this place like the back of his hand. Looking for a big night tonight.
Yeah, Doyle has really bounced back in some style, and away they go. First time of asking tonight. Krista Gardell is our referee, and his final weekend of FIM refereeing, by the way. And Matt Sianovsky has made a good, Max Frick has made a good starter here in the red helmet colour. Second in yellow is Martin Vasilik. It's Jason Doyle third in blue right now, but Max Frick looking good. It's his debut Grand Prix campaign, of course, the Australian. He's not had it all his own way, and he's under pressure here from Martin Vasilik, and a great race to open up tonight.
Yeah, it runs too wide. Track has been tyre packed. He's gone wide again. He's allowed Martin Vasilik up the inside. He'll repay the compliment. Straight back up the inside. Jason Doyle didn't make a good start from gate 2 and is under pressure in 3rd place. Martin Vasilik all climbing, literally climbing all over the back of Max Frick. He's going to run wide, Frick. No, he's just about going to hang on it. Track slick. Boys searching for grip into the last lap in the opening race.
Yeah, they tyre packed it after quite a bit of rain earlier on in the day in the city of Torun. But what about this for Max Frick? This is an excellent start for the former Bellevue man, the man who rides for Wrocław in the Polish league. Great win for him.
Yeah.
Under pressure from Martin Vasilik. That was a good race as well. We saw some entertaining stuff there, and it's Max Frick who wins heat number 1 with a super ride from gate number 1. But as we say, Vasilik really getting stuck in there.
He was.
And Doyle working hard to see off Mikkel Mikkelsen for 3rd spot there. Max Frick the winner, Martin Vasilik 2nd, Jason Doyle was 3rd, and Mikkel Mikkelsen, the Dane, trailing in at the back. But a good way to start. If that's a sign of things to come, Carl, we're in for a good couple of nights of speedway.
Indeed we are, and it's certainly this man will be looking for a good night this evening. Max Frick on the inside there makes a good start. Be interesting to see how Max does go, because we've got Jack Holder, the wild card, coming in, another Australian. May well be a little bit of rivalry there, because there's no question that Jack has been stealing a lot of the headlines coming up into this weekend. But a super start from the inside. Martin Vasilik has a super effort there from the outside, and I thought for a moment he was going to get around the outside there, but Frick beginning to figure out World Championship Speedway, you've got to be ruthless, and he was there. But then he does make a couple of little mistakes here. Look, runs mid-track, no man's land, but fortunately was able to recover and pick himself back up and hit the front. Good race, super race, picks up a very useful 3 points.
Yeah, nice ride, Max Frick, good stuff there. And Jason Doyle, by the way, a former Torun rider. They were relegated last year, but they've just won promotion straight back to the Extra League of the Torun club. And Jack Holder part of that. And Jack Holder is out here in heat number 2. He'll be in the white helmet colour, actually signed to ride for the Sheffield Tigers when they were promoted to the Premiership in the winter. But of course, a bit like Nicky Pedersen, the Sheffield fans haven't been able to see him in their colours this year, which is a major disappointment. But Jack has already indicated, count me in for next year at Overton. Matty Zegar off the inside, Liam Madsen off gate number 2 in blue. Jack Holder, a lot of eyes and attention on him. And Emil Seifutenov off the outside.
Yeah, well, Jack Holder is the track record holder here, so he knows how to get around this place and has ridden well here this season. And it's good that this club has come back into the Extra Liga. It's a fantastic venue. Zagar on the inside there, settling down. Keep your eyes on Madsen. Won every race in the Grand Prix here last year and pushed Seifutenov right to the checkered flag.
Yeah, good lineup this heat number 2. Oh, sit still, Jack. You're a little bit nervous there, the man in white, and it's Zegar who's got there first. Now, watch out for the man in yellow.
No reputations there.
Yeah, but Jack Holder charges through. Very nervous at the start. Couldn't wait to get away, and he's barged his way through into 2nd spot. Seifutenov 3rd and Madsen at the back right now. But Jack Holder very much on the pace and really hunting down Matty Zegar here.
He does indeed. He's just seen his compatriot Max Frick win the opening race. Missed the start. start big time because he was a touch nervous. Charged into the first corner, barged Madsen out of the way. Keep your eyes on Madsen, by the way, because he's beginning to wind it up. Zager off the inside is riding a nice line. So Fudinov and Madsen scrapping just for 1 point. Zager's got it under control, but we're coming into the last lap. They're all queuing up behind him. Good speedway once again.
Yeah, he's got to hold the right line here, Kelv. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head and try and predict where the boys behind him are going. But it looks very much as though Matti Zager, who's already booked his place in next year's series, no problem through the challenge, he's going to take the victory. Jack Holder hangs on for second in a battle for third between Madsen and Saifudinov. But I'll tell you what, Holder made a real mess of the start. I can only put it down to nerves, Kelv.
Yeah, but what about the move in the first corner? He just shoved Madsen out of the way. No respect for him whatsoever, the world number 2. Here's the charge to the line. Zager wins comfortably in style. Nice ride from him. Holder rides well for second. Saifudinov on the outside.
Not sure.
It's very close. Might be the... I can't tell from the blurry sort of picture
well, you won't
we got
tell
there.
From this angle, will you?
No, not head on, no.
Oh,
it's really tight.
I don't know.
Really tight. I'm glad I haven't got to make that decision. Yeah. Zager wants to have a good look at himself, winning a race, and he did ride nicely there. Not sure who's come third. I think we're about to get the result now.
Yeah, so Leon Madsen gets there. And a blow for Emil Saifudinov again, who starts yet again with a 0 place. But Matti Zager, absolutely, look at Holder, has to virtually get off the bike to avoid touching the tapes.
He could have done with a front brake there, but watch this now. He just cleans straight in the side of Madsen. Madsen runs wide. Bike setup is pretty much spot on because he's able to go from last to second by less than half a lap. He's well and truly last, but that may have done him a favour because he has to go for the inside. Just comes straight underneath Madsen, who has to get out of the way. And a good first corner from Matti Zager, who rides an absolutely perfect ride here. Zager moving further away. Scraps going on for second, third and fourth throughout the 4 laps. Track will evolve, I think. It will get a little bit more grip on it. But an encouraging ride for young Jack in his opening ride.
Yep, indeed it was. Brother of the 2011 world champion Chris Holder. 2012, yeah.
And I remember it was real drama.
Years ago, yeah.
Real drama with Nicky here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And Jack first came here in 2010 to see his brother in action. It's a great story. So here we go with Heat 3. Dudek,
Is it one for later then?
Maybe. Smart, if I remember it. Smarslik and Lindback.
That good.
Going off the outside. So the series leader, Bartosz Smarslik, the man to watch here in Gate 3 in the white helmet colour.
Indeed it is. He was in superb form in Prague 2 weeks ago. Can he keep it going tonight?
Do you know, any other rider who finished second twice would have got the headlines, but Ty Wuffenden overshadowed by Smarslik winning both meetings.
Yeah, brilliant performance.
A couple of weeks ago. And that's a great start.
Fantastic.
Look at him go here. Bartosz Smarslik making it look so easy ahead of his fellow Pole. Patrick Dudek in second spot. Third is Antonio Lindback now in yellow. The man in the blue helmet colour is Niels Christian Iversen trying the inside run. Niels got 11 in the Danish final in midweek in Voyens. But here, Bartosz Smarslik looking set for 3 big points as he looks for a back-to-back world title over the next 48 hours.
Well, he really is riding at the top of his game. Superb start away from Gate 3. Dudek's there. Dudek needs a big night. He's had a tough season. That injury certainly didn't help matters. Antonio Lindback has had a difficult time, as has Iversen with injury and lack of form. But the man out in front, who started slowly in Wroclaw, then really picked it up at his home patch in Gorzów. Last time out, back-to-back wins in Prague. What a ride in his opening race here in Torun.
Well, he's just making it look oh so easy. Bartosz Smarslik, the reigning world champion. And he has the lead in this year's series with 2 meetings to go. That's 1 less ride to worry about. He's starting in style all right tonight. Bartosz Smarslik of Poland. And can he become Poland's first ever double world champion?
Well, it could easily be. He's won half the rounds already. And he's only 7 points in the lead, which is remarkable. But he wins his first race in style.
With Dudek second, Lindback third, and Iversen trailing in at the back. So now, automatically, pressure back on Lindgren and Wuffenden, who are head-to-head in the next race off the outside 2 gates, Heat 4.
Watch this. Gate 3, bike just drives forward. What a feeling that is. Absolutely nails it. Bike set up perfect. Patrick Dudek rides solidly in second place and Antonio Lindback in third. And that's pretty much all she wrote here, but this was all the damage was done here. And once he settled in, he didn't look like he was nervous at all. He's loose on the bike, he's relaxed. He will feel some nerves by tomorrow night, that's for sure, if he's coming within touching distance of clinching the title. But here, look at that back tire, really gripping the surface, charging forward. Fantastic style from Bartosz Zmarzlik, the world champion, in his opening ride.
He's dominating, but by my reckoning, we're not going to see the new world champion or the 2020 world champion established and crowned until probably, you know, the
semi-finals
last,
tomorrow night.
Well, or you know, at least the last set of qualifying heats 17 to 20, could be best case scenario for somebody to wrap up the world title tomorrow night. Such is the new point system.
Well, yeah, because he's not very far in front, although he's won half the rounds.
Yes.
So, you know, he's done remarkably well. He is the man to beat, but he's still got work to do.
Janowski off the inside then, a winner of round 2. Laguta, winner of round 1, inside 2 gates. Lindgren going off gate 3. Woffenden off the outside.
Wow.
In the yellow helmet. What a lineup for heat 4.
Fantastic. Freddie Lindgren, of course, a winner in round 4. And he has been going very well and is certainly in this championship race, just 7 points out of the lead. What an opportunity. Mid-30s now, Freddie, a very experienced man, desperate to be Sweden's next world champion. Here we go.
Yes, he could be, but can you see Zmarzlik slipping up? That's the burning question.
Ooh.
Good start from Janowski off the inside gate in that red helmet colour. Now Lindgren is in white. Now he's going to try the outside run down that back straight. He's got speed. He's going to go into the banking. Watch him go here into the banking, into what dirt there is there to try and get some drive. Third is Laguta with Woffenden at the back right now. But this is a good ride from Mats Janowski, but he knows he's got a real task on his hands to see off Freddie Lindgren in white.
He has indeed. Smashing start once again, the inside gate working well. Woffenden just had a bit of a shove, actually, going to the first corner, and it unsettled him from Freddie. But that's the way it has turns out sometimes. Track is quite slick and not easy to overtake. Certainly here in heat number 4, it looks like it's going to remain this way. Freddie working hard. Woffenden now beginning to work the track, riding a little bit high and wide there, but just not the grip there to really utilise it. Out in front, Janowski starting in style. He'll be pleased with this.
Yes, the Wrocław rider from the Polish Extraliga starts with a victory, and his Wrocław colleague Ty Woffenden of Great Britain left at the back on that occasion. That's the first set of 4 heats completed in the Marion Rose Motor Arena in Torun, and Bartosz Zmarzlik going about it the right way to defend his world title. He made it look easy, but at heat 4, Janowski, Lindgren, Laguta, Woffenden was your finishing order. And that means that the race winners after the opening round of heats, Frick, Zagar, Janowski and Zmarzlik.
Lovely ride from Magic there. The inside gate has been the right place to be in the opening heats, that's for sure. But just watch this here, just a little bit untidy there as they go to the first corner. I think Woffenden thought that Freddie was going to give him a clout. It didn't actually work out that way, but it killed his run to the first corner, and he can't just quite then get amongst it as hard as he tried. Out in front, Janowski dominates the race from start to finish, really. I thought for a moment that Freddie might have found a little bit more, but at this early stage, difficult to use the full width of the track. We saw that as the race came towards its end, because Woffenden was beginning to try and use the banking. Quite steeply banked here in Torun. It will develop, particularly you can use that exit out of turn 2 to try and generate some extra speed down the back straight. But for Janowski, who's been up and down this year, started wonderfully well in his own backyard in Wrocław, but since then has been indifferent, actually, and it's not been his year. He won't be world champion, he's too far back, but wants to finish in style.
It's such a unique situation that Zmarzlik has dominated, but say, for example, Freddie was to win the final tonight, and Bartosz was to finish 3rd, for the sake of argument. Bartosz would only have a 3-point lead going into tomorrow night. He's dominated.
Seems a little harsh on
yes.
somebody who has won most of the races and most of the rounds, where riders that aren't necessarily winning as many races, they're still in it. I think that might be something that's looked at in the future, but because he would have had on the old point scoring system, nearly a 20-point lead coming into tonight, which he would have deserved because of the performances he's put in. Just checking, making sure that his pregnant wife is okay there on his phone. But I can assure that here in the pits for him, everything's fine at the moment after one ride.
Yeah, you never had mobile phones to check when you were riding, did you?
No, we didn't. It was, I don't know if there were even phones invented, Nigel, because I'm sure you'll come to the black and white bit in a minute. No, it's he's riding so well. And the performance in the final on the second night in Prague against Ty in that race, I mean, the way he rode there, it was quite breathtaking, wasn't it? It was an extraordinary ride. Madsen, who won every race here last year and closed in on the World Championship, and Smarslik actually only won by 2 points in the end, and quite remarkable that was.
Yes, indeed. Heat 5 coming next. Freddie Lindgren in the pits, talking to his pit crew. The pit's behind the stand here. You come through a tunnel a little bit like Gorzhov.
But when we talk about the new point scoring system, Nige, second place is fine. Yeah. You don't have to win races.
It's all about getting into the top
Just
8.
Got to get the top 8, because that's when the big points are handed out. So he'll be quite satisfied so far.
Let's get some rider reaction now with Mats Janowski.
Well, Magic, a great first heat out there, keeping Freddie and Ty at bay.
You know, it's still beginning of the night, so I'm happy to start with 3 points, but we need to stay focused and score a couple more.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, tell me what the track's like.
Slick. Track is slick. I hope later maybe outside will work a little bit better, but I'm glad that in my heat outside was not that good like normally is here, so was more easy to defend my first position, so we will see.
Okay, and Redgate working very well out there, 3 out of the 4 winning their heat from the Redgate, but you've only got one of those Redgates which is already gone.
Yeah, to be honest, Gate 1 is pretty hard compared to Gate 2 and Gate 3. But of course it's the closest to first corner, so I was thinking it will be a little bit harder from the start, but I have good timing and everything works good, so it was okay.
Perfect, thanks Magic.
Thank you.
Yeah, Redgate is Gate 1, of course, just to clarify that for our fans around the world, and Janowski certainly making it work in Heat 4.
Yeah, and 3 winners from the inside gate in the first 4 races, so, you know, that was the right place to see, and it was slick, and he just confirmed that.
Well, Jack, good to have you here. What did you make of your first heat? 2 points. Feeling good out there?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's a lot of nerves at the moment, but yeah, he held the tapes for a long time, and you know, I didn't move. I was falling over, and I was like, and as soon as I put my foot out to sort of stop myself, the tapes went up. But you know, it sort of worked in my favour in that first corner. I was a fair bit way behind, so I cut back and managed to get a second place.
Well, you know the track well here for sure.
Yeah, of course, but you know, everyone does it. You know, everyone rides it like during the leagues and stuff. So it's such an easy track to ride. So it's quite hard, believe it or not, because everyone can be quite quick around here.
Okay, let's talk 2021. I know you're out there to impress tonight for a wild card for next season. Is that really what you want?
That's in the back of my mind, but you know, it's my first time in the full sort of night. So yeah, I just want a good night tonight and tomorrow, of course, and we'll see what happens.
For sure. Enjoy it out there.
No worries. Thank you.
It is a good opportunity for Jack Holder. Max Frick, of course, who we are looking at there, is a permanent Grand Prix rider at the moment, but he's outside the top 6. Jack Holder has been riding very well this season. If he puts in 2 big performances tonight and tomorrow, it will give the authorities something to think about when it comes to the pick. I don't think they'll both get picked, but one of them would. And if Jack Holder makes a semi or even was to make a final and Frick doesn't do so well, then they may think of giving him a run. So an opportunity that I'm sure that Chris, his elder brother, had spoken to Jack about. He admitted he was a bit nervous there, and he was on the start. He was all untidy, wasn't he? And there's no doubt that Jack had the speed, so I expect him to do very well indeed.
I beg to differ when he said he didn't move at the start.
Oh, he was doing about 10 miles an hour. I think when he nearly fell over, it actually stopped him hitting the tapes.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he charged into that first corner.
He's had a great season, Kelv, riding in Poland in 2 leagues. He's been double figures everywhere he's gone, Jack.
Yeah, so it suited him, and he's ridden really nicely. So, you know, as I say, it's a great opportunity for him with the extra picks. It will be interesting to see what happens with the Russian boys if they remain outside the top 6. I'm sure they'll go in, but there'll still be 3 left, and he may be able to have one of those.
Can Woffenden make gate 1 count in the red helmet colour?
Needs to.
He's up against Bartosz Marslik, who's off the outside gate here. Another tremendous lineup. Heat number 5.
Zagar here as well, Nige.
And Frick, race winners. Yeah.
Some lineup.
Yep, heat 5 coming up. Heat number 5, and it's Ty Woffenden, triple world champion, going off the inside gate, needs points. Max Frick and Matti Zagar and Bartosz Marslik all across the grid, race winners in their opening ride. This is some lineup, Kelv.
Indeed it is, Nige, and Woffenden needs to bounce back after a poor opening ride from his very high standards. I'm sure he's more than capable of it. Going from the inside, probably the best place to be. Smarslik, though, is just flying. And it wouldn't be a total surprise to see him do something from there. But in the interview that we've just heard from Maciej Janowski, confirming that the track is slick at the moment, and he found it quite easy to defend by just concentrating on riding the inside. This track with the heavily banked corners really comes to life when you can use it. So I do hope that it evolves and we see some spectacular stuff. Bartosz Marslik leading the World Championship, won in fine style his opening ride. He came from gate 3 that time. What can he do from gate 4 now?
Yes, and Poland have never had a double world champion. Can that be put right over the next couple of nights in Torun? Here we go, heat number 5. Good start from Woffenden, but look at Smarslik here going off the outside gate. Will Woffenden take him wide? In this room, not quite. Good move by Ty Woffenden, blocked the way for Bartosz Marslik. Woffenden now has to clamp that inside line.
Oh, he's off!
No!
He's off!
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, I do hope he's not hurt.
I think he's okay, but he turned the bike so hard to get up the inside of Woffenden there, and then the way he rode, he just hooked up so hard up underneath him, and he found himself on his backside. He's
Thank
fine.
Goodness for that.
He's fine. He didn't get collected by anybody. He
lucky lad.
Very lucky lad. Just shows you that this championship is not over. Not over. You watch him, he turns really hard. He's got the front wheel up on the grass, and there it just kicks up underneath him. And he was so lucky. Max Frick could easily have run him down, and then a serious injury could have been resolved. It just bounces off the curb there, but that's the chance you're taking when you've got your front wheel right up over the line.
And the left shoulder there, he's landed on that left shoulder. That is where collarbones break, is it not, Kelv? That is...
Just bounces when it comes off the curb.
Now, here we go. Bang, he's on his left shoulder there.
Yeah,
that could have been dislocated, broken collarbone.
But do you remember when Woffenden was going for the World Championship, he backed it into the first corner?
Yes.
But that's a bucking Bronco there, wasn't it? All untidy, out of shape, down he goes. Fortunately, nobody rides over him. We will be able to see more of him. But twists and turns left in this championship, yeah, that's for sure. We weren't expecting to see that.
Excluded.
And absolutely, there's no doubt that he was going to get excluded. It was his own fault. But we see him do that sort of manoeuvre so often, where he has this wonderful skill of being able to turn the bike inside out and then generate speed off the corner. No grip on the outside, so he knew that's where he needed to be, but it just backfired on him.
Now, where he is now, Kelv, just as he's walking there, if you do a left and then again on the left-hand side, there's a lovely little cafe, isn't there?
Oh, I thought he was going to say there's a boozer there.
Well, I wouldn't know that. I don't do that at the track. But the cafe is lovely, isn't it?
It is smashing. I've eaten in there. They do some really good food. But no, you're dead right. But it's...
Hi, Doyley.
Doyley's there, looking relaxed. Picked up a point, I think, first time out. Didn't quite get it right. Jack Holder going out with him as well. But a rerun of Heat 5, of course, that we'll wait for. And delighted to see the World Championship leader up and about. We'll see more of him. Don't expect him to be too concerned about making the semi-finals tonight, but if he doesn't and Woofenden comes through, then things could change very quickly indeed.
Yes, it just gives him something to think about. If there was any danger of any complacency whatsoever for Bartek, then that will go out of the window now. You can be sure he'll be doubly focused from here, I would think, Kelv, because he knows that there's still a job to do.
Just shows you how unpredictable it can be, because he won his first race, looked like absolutely poetry in motion. There, all of a sudden, he tried to get round the outside of Ty Woofenden. That was never going to happen. No way was Woofenden going to allow him to come by. He then chopped back to the inside, and it just backfired. And we're just waiting for things to get underway here. Not quite sure why we're waiting, but we are nonetheless. But for Ty Woofenden now, this is an opportunity off the inside without the world champion to really get amongst the points here and kick-start his night after failing to score in his first ride.
Well, Artem Laguta, and he's in red in the next one. He's sat on his bike already, keen to get going. Here's Max Frick in blue, ready for the restart. There's a 2-minute warning now from Krista Gardell, our referee, who's been told by the race director, Phil Morris, to put the 2-minute warning on. So Max will waste no time and get out there on the track. But Woofenden played a smart move down the back straight, because he just blocked the way through for Bartosz. He could have
had to be done, otherwise
yeah,
it had to do it, because otherwise Schmarzlik was coming by, and it wasn't dirty, it was just tough. And
just racing, wasn't it?
Exactly, and that's the way it should be. Woofenden now not fully fit. He's carrying an injury in the hand on the left side, on the clutch hand, so that's not ideal, but he's making light of it, and he's going to give it everything he's got over the last 2 rounds of the championship. Zagar, of course, has been probably the most relaxed man in the pits all year, because before the series even started, he was a confirmed starter in the series for next year, because the challenge was completed before the first round of this year's championship. Unusual year, pandemic year, of course.
Never to be forgotten. And they normally
I wish I could.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we just wipe 2020 out?
Just delete it.
Yeah, and they normally meet, the FIM and BSI, they normally meet on this weekend, on the Sunday, to discuss picks for next year. I wonder if that will be the case this weekend. We'll find out. Woofenden then off the inside, then Frick, then Zagar. No Schmarzlik, of course, the defending champion and series leader, excluded from this restart of heat number 5.
Not sure why we had such a delay there.
No.
Because we didn't need a replacement. Could have just got on with it, but we've had a good 5-minute pause there, which seems slightly unusual. But Frick, who was good in his opening ride, looking for a big night. Pressure's on him now. Got to come up with a performance this evening. Here we go, rerun.
Yep, so here we go with heat number 5, second time of asking, and they're away. That's a great start from Woofenden. He's made a beauty off the inside gate there, tries mid-track and then chops up the inside for the inside run. And now here's Frick trying his best to get past Matti Zagar in white, 2 former Bellevue riders in 2nd and 3rd right now.
Brilliant
Ty
start.
Woofenden, though, of Great Britain, leading the way. He needs this, Kelv. Absolutely he needs this.
Yeah, he does indeed. Superb start from Woofenden off the inside. Looks good. Zagar wasn't even ready, but fair play to him. He was crafty coming out of the first corner, and he blocked the move by Frick. Frick's right there, and he's having a really good go in 3rd place, but I'm not sure the outside line's working yet. Zagar's trying it, but it isn't working that well yet. Woofenden, though, looks really good in front. They may have made a tweak or 2 to the bike, because it's quicker in this one than his first one. He's on for 3 here. Keep our eyes on Max Frick. Can he do anything about Zagar in 2nd place?
I'm not sure he can at this stage. I think he's left himself with too much to do, and Zagar, very experienced rider, of course. Matti Zagar, he's going to take 2nd spot. And even though he's relaxed because he knows he's in next year's series, he's having a go tonight. He's on 5 points from 2 rides. And that's a superb effort from Matti Zagar. 5 from 2, just a 1 point for Max Frick, of course, tonight. He's on 4 from 2, and a big win for Woofenden. He needed that, and the world champion didn't score. In fact, he was excluded, disqualified, thrown out of the race, whatever you want to say. Woofenden, Zagar, Frick the finishing order then, and that means that Zagar's on 5 and Woofenden rockets up with 3 points in the standings. All about getting in the top 8, of course. You've got to get enough points to get into the top 8, and that gives you a great chance later in the meeting.
He nailed that. He absolutely nailed it. I think it's actually also Zagar missed it badly. Oh, I don't know whether the tapes went up lopsided, you know.
I thought they did there.
Yeah. I thought that Zagar was sleeping, but actually, apologies to Matty Zagar.
We might be doing him a disservice
I think we have done. This is where he was clever, though, because he left no racing room for Frick to get up the inside, and Frick could not get to second place. This man has got another gate one. Not a bad draw for Woofenden tonight. That'll be pleasing him. I want to see a bit more grip on the track so we can see the boys charge around the outside. It gets so good when that outside line works here, because you never quite know where they're coming from, but so far so good.
Yes, it was a wet morning in Torun, and then
that should do the track good.
Yes, the rain faded away in the afternoon, so no issues with the track. And
funny enough, I watched the warm-up, which is about half an hour before the meeting starts, and there was more grip on the track then. And then they tyre packed it in. I'm sure it'll come.
Yeah.
I think there is an issue with the start gate here. We got Phil Morris now just checking, because it did look like on the replay it went up slightly lopsided. We didn't quite see that.
Yeah, he didn't spot it at the time, but then we were...
I just thought Zagar was sleeping, but that was just a bit harsh on him.
Yeah. Bit of spray will do it, won't it?
WD, mate. Can't go racing without your WD and your duct tape.
Well, Phil Morris, the race director, who has stayed...
Well, we know what he's saying. Spray it with WD.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that's the
magic spray.
The Polish version of.
I use it for my garage door at home.
Do you? Fair play to you. That doesn't look like it's working, actually. There we are. It didn't look like that was done that well. But anyway,
you can have all your transponders, you can have all your modern timing mechanisms, but a bit of spray is always the answer, Kelv. But yeah, so frustrating delay. That's
a fair old mask that guy's got on, isn't it? Yeah. With the teeth, it looks quite frightening. Anyway, Jason's sitting patiently. We're going to check the tapes again. Here we go. Green light on, and push the button. Lovely. We can go racing. That's good.
Let's crack on, lads.
Good as gold. Brand new with a bit of spray.
The spray sorts it again.
It's a bit like the cold sponge, isn't it, on the football pitch? It just fixes any injury out there.
Remarkable.
Patrick Dudek has had a difficult time this year, former world #2 in 2017. Since then, not quite the same rider. Injury struck this year, but at the back end of last year struggled. Hasn't found that form that we saw when he pushed that man all the way when the championship was clinched down under in Melbourne that year.
2017.
And Patrick, well, he's outside the top 6, and there are questions will be asked whether he will be put back in the series, because with Kasperzak already qualified,
great point,
Janowski and Schmarzlik will be in the top 6. They will have 3 representatives. Will they make it 4 with this man? It will be a shame if he's not in, because he's an exciting guy.
He's brilliant at his best, but it's just not been any kind of consistency that we would expect. Of course, he's had a knock or two along the way.
Well, when he pushed Jason all the way, he won here.
Oh, yes.
He won here that year, so he knows how to do it. And it's just something missing at the moment.
Yes, and I just don't know whether... You make a great point about Kasperzak being already in there. That doesn't do Dudek any favours when it comes to needing a pick.
No, it doesn't. You know, will they put 4 riders in? And then when they have wildcards next year, if we're back to normal, then you'll have 5 representatives from one country in potentially 2 or 3 Grand Prix. I'm not sure that'll go down well everywhere. Certainly in Poland it will, but outside Poland it might not.
Laguta, Dudek, Doyle, Holder the wild card in Torun. So a couple of Australians off the outside 2 gate positions here in this one, and Jason Doyle, the vastly experienced Grand Prix rider and former world champion, and the new kid on the block, if you like.
Yeah, well, they were teammates last year, weren't they, of course, because they both rode here. Jason moved on to Czestochowa because wanted to remain in the Extraliga. Jack and Chris Holder remained loyal to Torun, and they have bounced back in fine style this year, and that's good news. Here we go, settling down now.
Yep, here we go. Heat number 6 in the Marianne Rose Motor Arena in Torun, the traditional end-of-season venue.
Jack's nervous.
Yeah, sit still this time, Jack. And away they go, no problem this time. And it's Jason Doyle off 3. He's going to go high into the dirt. Can he get the drive down the back straight? Look at Jack Holder here.
Brilliant.
Wheel to wheel down the back straight. And the man in red is Artem Laguta holding on there. Holder's putting pressure on. Here comes Doyle round the outside. Good speedway. They're all bunched up here. And really, Jason Doyle working overtime to keep his fellow countrymen at bay here at the same time as trying to hunt down Artem Laguta.
3 abreast down the back straight on the opening lap. I thought for a moment Holder was going to charge between them and hit the front, not quite managing to do it. Artem Laguta hugging the inside, now being put under a massive pressure from Doyle. Doyle working hard in second place, just moving off the line, trying to find a little bit of extra grip, extra speed to get himself to the front. Laguta, though, he likes these sort of conditions. He's a starter, he likes it slick, he's out in front, should win from there.
Yeah, he should do from here. Be a major surprise if he was to let that slip now, but Doyle will keep it wound on, you can be sure of that. But there's not enough there, really, to encourage Doyle to pass Laguta at this stage of the meeting. But
you can't move off the line,
no,
Nige, because you go backwards, and we heard it from Janowski, but Laguta off the inside rides a clever line, picks up a nice win for him. And the hard charge in Aussie Doyle in second place just couldn't get to him.
No, and a point for Jack Holder with Patrick Dudek at the back once again here. 2 points from 2 rides for the former world number 2, Patrick Dudek. And Laguta now on to 4 points with that race win in heat number 6. That was a good ride from Laguta because he had both Holder and Doyle all over him.
He did indeed, and initially Jason Doyle made a very good start from gate 3, but elected to go mid-track. Look at this, 3 abreast, and I thought for a moment that young Jack Holder was going to be able to squeeze between the two of them, but it wasn't quite to be. We see it again. The bike from Jason Doyle goes forward really nicely. I think if he could do this again, he'd go straight to the curb. But he allows the bike to run mid-track, expecting grip, and there is none. And he's vulnerable there and very nearly gets relegated to 3rd place. It's only sheer determination. There is contact. It got untidy. Could have got very untidy. We've seen some big crashes going into turn 3 in previous seasons. Out in front, though, Laguta's holding that inside. He's a tidy rider, and these sort of conditions will suit him. And the Russian picks up his first win of the night. He'll be pleased with that. And Jason Doyle picks up a solid 2nd place. Big smiles from Artem Laguta. And after winning the opening night of the series, has been indifferent since. But these conditions will suit him.
Well, here we have Niels Christian Iversen off the inside gate in red. Rode in that Danish final in Vojens on Wednesday when they were only allowed 350 spectators. He got 11 points, wasn't enough. Anders Thompson is the new Danish champion. Congratulations to him. It's Iversen off the inside. Mats Janowski going off 2, a winner first time out. Leon Madsen, another Dane off 3, and another Dane, Mikkel Mikkelsen, going off the outside gate.
The only footage I've seen of the Danish championship is Nicky Pedersen hitting the fence and then coming back across and clipping the back of Kenneth Bjerre. And it was quite a dramatic incident in Vojens. Shame they couldn't have had more people in there, because I know Jakob Olsen and the team would have worked so hard. But congratulations to Anders Thompson, a good result for him.
Heat number 7 it is in Torun then, and away from the start in blue. Mats Janowski, the pole, has that advantage early on here. Now watch out for Madsen in white, driving round the outside, and now is going into the banking. Can he get drive on Janowski with Niels Christian Iversen 3rd, Mikkel Mikkelsen at the back. Madsen is winding it on, and he's still keeping Janowski under a little bit of pressure here down that back straight.
Yeah, Madsen coming on strong. Janowski good away from gate 2, riding that inside. Madsen's got speed, very nearly runs in the back of him. Madsen should pass him in a minute. Because he's got the speed. Maybe
here he goes.
Now he's done him now. It was inevitable. You could see it. He had so much more speed. And again, these sort of conditions will suit Leon. He's out in front. Maybe that outside just beginning to work. But for Leon Madsen, this was a fine ride. Spectacular stuff from him.
Yeah, lovely ride from Leon Madsen. He's done everything right there, picking the right part at the track at the right time as well. It's a win for Leon Madsen. And Mikkel Mikkelsen just stole 3rd away there from Niels Christian Iversen. Mats Janowski in 2nd spot. A disappointing night for Iversen so far, but Madsen with a really smart ride there. Very good to see as well. A pass and a good move, and 3 well-worked points for Leon Madsen. Excellent.
Very good indeed. And Leon Madsen, who was in sparkling form here last year, of course. Similar sort of conditions, I'd say. and he wound it on. Didn't get away that well, but he had speed, and after a couple of laps, the writing was on the wall for Maciej Janowski, who makes a great start initially from gate 2, hugs the inside. You see how Leon rides. He sits right up on top of the bike. He puts his steel shoe on top of his chain guard, and he gets the bike right on the full footprint of the tyre. And when tracks are like this, where they're quite consistent with not too much grip, he generates speed where others don't. And you saw the momentum he gained here. He just generated more and more. Now, you see him, he sits back on it with his foot on the chain guard. And look at that, he gets the tyre really working well. And that was a clear example of how he gained extra speed and extra grip. And it worked a treat for him.
And then at the back, Mikkel Mikkelsen in yellow getting the better of Niels Christian Iversen, which is a major disappointment for Niels.
Iversen wants this season over.
Yeah.
It's been a tough campaign, injury, lack of racing. It just hasn't worked for him. And I feel for him because he's such a genuine guy, and he puts a lot of work in behind the scenes, and just hasn't worked out.
Nope, heat number 8 is coming up now. Martin Vasilik going off the inside gate. Then it's Emil Seifudenhoff off 2. Antonio Lindback going off gate 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren is the outside man in the yellow helmet colour. 2 points to his name so far. Needs to finish in the semi-finals at least to keep the title alive, the title race alive tonight. Has to make a first priority of getting into the top 8 to extend his evening in Torun and to maintain his title challenge. He's the closest challenger to Bartosz Marszlik, that's for sure. Heat number 8 after this ride. Every rider will have completed 2 outings in Torun. And a little bit of a nervy, edgy start from Vasilik off the inside gate, and Seifudenhoff's got there in blue. Good move from Emil Seifudenhoff. Watch out for Freddie Lindgren now in yellow as he charges through the field. He was in last place, he's gone through into second, and now Vasilik will try the run up the inside, but Lindgren's got speed and he's hanging on for second spot right now. It's Seifudenhoff up top, then it's Lindgren, and then it's Vasilik.
Yeah, Martin Vasilik made a big hole for Freddie, who then said thank you very much and charged up the inside and came roaring into second place. And he's probably stamped his authority on that. But the man away from the tapes was Seifudenhoff, absolutely jet propelled. And really and truly, I can't see him being beaten from there. He's pulling away nicely. And the track is not really developing as much as we would like, because that inside line is still possibly the fastest way round. But Emil out in front, this is encouraging for him after a disappointing opening ride.
Yeah, he needs this. Emil Seifudenhoff, that's a big win for him. Second place, Freddie Lindgren in the yellow helmet colour. And Antonio Lindback in third, but Seifudenhoff doing it all from the start. That was a tidy ride from the ever-popular Emil Seifudenhoff in the blue helmet colour, the brilliant Russian who's been plagued by inconsistency this year. Seifudenhoff, Lindgren, Vasilik, Lindback is your finishing order, and so far Matti Zagar and Maciej Janowski top the pile on 5 points apiece.
Great news, American football fans. Pick'em, the official tipping competition of the NFL, is back. Proudly presented by Tab. And we're giving you the chance to share in a weekly prize of $5,000 for every round of the 2020 season. Get in on the action for free, and you could also walk away with a $15K grand prize at the end of the season. Sign up today at nflpick'em.com.au. Tab, long may we play.
Think of the people who need your support. Gamble responsibly.
Bold choice.
Yeah! Bold taste.
Fanta, bold choice, bold taste.
It's more important than ever for young people to have mentors.
You've always been there for me.
And always made me smile.
How can I ever repay you for that?
He's had a difficult time. It's going to be difficult for him to make the top 6 as well. So probably needs to finish well to convince everybody that he should be around next year.
Well, we've discussed it a few times, Kelv, haven't we, in recent weeks, that there are some riders with big reputations, a lot of experience, who have been medal winners previously that are outside of the top 6. But
exactly, yeah.
We can hear from Leon Madsen now, who's given us some reaction.
Okay, Leon, that's a bit more like what we want to see. That was a great heat.
Yeah, it was. We changed a little bit on the setup on my bike, and now it's running faster like we wanted to, and my start was a little bit better. I was maybe sleeping a little bit in the start, but you know, I can't be too fast, and it will just be a rerun, so I have to be a little bit more calm in the start tonight.
Yeah, okay. Well, we noticed that you found some pace sort of midway through that heat.
Say again?
You found some pace midway through that heat.
Yeah, my bike did the work. You know, it's always more easy when you're confident on your bike. You feel it's running fast. You don't have to fight with the bike, so it's more easy than to attack the guy in front. And yeah, I'm pleased with the last heat.
Okay, and did the track change much in between the grading?
I feel so. I feel in the first race it was much more slippery. It was more wet. Hopefully they won't water the tracks as much now the rest of the evening, and we can have a better racetrack, in my opinion.
All right, thanks, Liam.
Thank you.
Yes, Liam Madsen there. Good to hear from him.
Yeah, absolutely, and he rode nicely, and the track was just drying a bit, and he was able to find a little bit more grip, and he rode nicely. And that gets him well and truly in this meeting. He has fond memories of Torun, of course. Pushed Mr. Smarslick all the way last year and just came up short. And be interesting to see if he can win one of the last two Grand Prix of 2020.
Yeah, well, Kiri's down in the pits, as we know, and she's going to catch up with Ty Woffenden now.
Ty, that was a really good heat. I'm sure that's exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, for sure. We made a mistake with the sprocket size in the first one, and the second one we made it better. So I got gate 1 again in my next one, and then yeah, just need to definitely score a few more points.
Yeah, definitely. Now you're one of the only riders. There's only 2 of you that have got 2 gate 1s. Are you feeling that gate's working in particular?
Every year in Torun in the previous years, apart from this year, it's probably the slickest this year. I think they noticed that gate 1's always way better than the others, so they've made it like gate 4 is more grippy, and then 3's a bit less, 2's a bit less, and 1 there's not much there. So it is what it is. Luck of the draw, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
Okay, and you feeling confident that you can do this?
Yeah, I just enjoy riding my bike. You know, I'll do the best that I can over the next 2 days, and what will be will be. Can't do any more than that.
For sure. Enjoy it, Ty.
Thank you.
Interesting that, the way he said that the track has been set up on the start line, but the inside gate is still working well. I think probably as a consequence because the track isn't very grippy tonight, because you can't do that swoop round the outside in the first corner, and let's hope that we see a bit more of that. If not tonight, we're back tomorrow, so there's every chance we will see at some point. The rain normally at the beginning of a day will help the track because you get the natural water and moisture in the track, but it is cold now at this time of year in Poland, so the track will go greasy as well with the moisture in it. It will actually come up out of the surface, so that might be part of the problem.
Yeah, and when we saw that panoramic shot of the stadium there, Kelv, interesting point that they extended the roof over the bends, didn't they, here? From the original build, they brought, if you can see there, just over the roof, there's an extension there to the roof, which is intended to cover the bends.
It just about does. It just about does. Yeah, just right on the curb. It just, you'll see a bit of rain, but it's a lovely stadium, and it's always a great place to finish the series. And you know, it looks great with the lights on. It's a modern build. It's a super track. The town itself is very pleasant indeed. So yeah, it's always worth a visit. Not always when a pandemic is on, but certainly when there's no. Look at this. They are actually allowing the track to be, maybe just allow a little bit more material to develop a little bit wider. Yeah, they're just scraping it a bit there. So we may well see things change now moving forward, because you don't often see that. But it'll be interesting to see how that enables the boys to chase the dirt a bit.
Well, I can confirm information from the pits as well is that Mate Zegard did actually raise the issue of the starting gate not going up equally on the outside, and it
so
was Mate complaining to Phil Morris that that got the attention of the situation.
Yeah, you know, as a rider, if it is. And as a commentator, we got it, well, I got it wrong, because I thought he was just missed it, but he didn't. He went when his tape went, but the inside went a bit earlier. We got some fairly got some proper work going on the track now, Nige, and be interesting to see how it develops. Track, Zagag looking good after 2 races, Janowski as well. Madsen, I think he's going to be a potential winner tonight, Madsen, if it stays reasonably slick. Laguta also will be a threat. Woofenden and Smarslick, obviously Smarslick's got to be patient and just get himself back in the meeting after that mishap he had in his second ride. But I don't expect too much drama from him. I fully expect him to regain his composure and push on for the semi-finals. Young Jack Holder, it's very tight there after 2 rides, very tight indeed. And I think this is a good move with the track. I think this could just make it a little bit more exciting for us by just developing that sort of mid to the outside line.
Yeah, well, just a little bit of extra time being taken here. But like you say, Kelv, hopefully it'll be worth it, and we'll just see a little bit more of this Torun track, because it's one of the highlights of the calendar, isn't it?
It is, and when you've got a track with the banking that we see here, you want to be able to use it, because it really gives it that added dynamic. And it gives an option to riders. When we saw, you know, we've seen races with Darcy Ward here where he was able just to strut his stuff up the banking and up the inside. I mean, some of the most breathtaking rides.
He was a wild card here.
You'd ever wish to see. Well, Darcy Ward round here, I would say, was probably one of the most exciting riders I've ever seen here. And I do hope he's watching. I'm sure he is. And good morning to you, Darcy, because you certainly thrilled us royally when you were riding here. It was fantastic to watch.
Huge miss in the Grand Prix Series, Darcy. There's no question about that. When Darcy and Chris Holder were really at their peak.
The Turbo Twins, mate.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch, wasn't it? And
I remember he passed Nicky Pedersen here, Darcy Ward. I don't think Nicky could believe he went by him. It was just extraordinary stuff. But we've got Jack Holder here, one of his compatriots, and Max Fricke. This is quite a matchup.
It is. It's another good lineup. And heat number 9 as we begin our 3rd round of heats. Freddie Lindgren's in this one as well. So he's looking for points to progress through to the
useful lineup,
semi-finals. Yeah, real handy lineup here. Heat number 9 it is then, with Jack Holder, the wild card, off the inside gate. Then it's Lindgren off 2 in the title race. Max Fricke off gate 3. And then it's Niels Christian Iversen, who's yet to score tonight, the Dane. He goes off the outside gate. But for Lindgren, another couple of points here or so would just do him nicely. Just keep chipping away and progressing to that top 8 in the semi-finals.
I agree with you. But also, it's nice to get a race win, because you never know what's round the corner, and race wins can be very handy when it comes to count back if things go slightly awry. You're expecting Lindgren to make the semi-finals relatively comfortably. He's been going so well this year, but winning races just gives you a little bit of extra confidence. There's the champion having to wait a little bit more patiently, and just got it a bit wrong last time. Niels Christian Iversen there, he's ridden there. He's always made the final here when he's ridden. He's got a great record here, Nige, but doesn't look like he'll make the final this evening. Max Fricke there, gate 3. Jack Holder on the inside, the wild card. A bit twitchy, a bit nervous. Here we go.
Yep, here we go then with heat number 9. Krista Gardell with his finger on the button. That's a super start from Lindgren off gate 2 in blue. Absolutely magnificent from Freddie Lindgren. And watch out for Fricke down the back straight. No room there. Holder saw it coming. Holder has blocked the line. And he's got 2nd spot right now. And he's charging hard. But here comes Fricke up the inside. Max Fricke in white with a sweet move to pass Jack Holder, who's going to come back for more down the back straight. This is good speedway now. But Lindgren has the lead from Fricke, from Holder, from Iversen.
That outside line, they're chasing it straight away where they've ripped it up. Here comes Fricke round the outside. Freddie Lindgren super away from the tapes, but Fricke's going to wind it up here now. He's got lots of speed. He's in the dirt on the outside. Holder's chasing him as well. Lindgren's had to respond into the last lap. All of a sudden, things livening up a little bit here, but now Freddie's smart. I think he's just about got this covered.
Yeah, this is a good ride from Lindgren. He made a super start. Fast Freddie away from the gate. Takes the checkered flag, and that was Pretty frenetic race, it has to be said.
Good speedway indeed.
Bit of a ding-dong between the two Australian boys there, Kel.
Yeah, Frick coming out on top, so just a little bit of a marker there. Everson not failing to score again, but Freddie Lindgren, that was a handy ride, 2 second places, always nice winning races. And what a start, 59.9, a good time as well.
Frick second, Holder third, and that means that Freddie Lindgren is now on 7 points from 3 rides, and he's got 1 foot in the semi-finals once again tonight.
Solid.
Yeah, and that'll keep him in the title race, and he could even go deeper than the final set of 4 heats tomorrow. It may go down to the semis, or maybe all the way to the final. Let's see.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Lovely start there from Freddie Lindgren. Frick alongside him. He immediately chases for the dirt. They've watched what went on in the track preparation. Jack Holder there slipped up the inside and squeezed Frick as they went into turn 3. That often is the case. It's the nature of this track. It's never quite sure. Frick elects to go wide, but Holder's there on the inside. Doesn't get away from gate 1 very well, Holder. Spun up a bit, actually. The bike didn't jump forward. But he's into second place, but a nice ride from Frick here. Read that nicely and was able to slip up the inside of Holder and hangs on to second place. And it's a good ride from Frick. He probably needed that for his own confidence. Just to remind Jack that maybe he's the one that should be put in next year. But for Freddie Lindgren, solid work. 7 points out of 9. Doing very nicely. He's almost in the semi-finals already. That takes some pressure off him.
Yeah, riding brilliantly fast, Freddie Lindgren. Fair play to him as we move on to race number 10 here with Antonio Lindback off the inside gate. Then Matty Zagar off gate number 2. Matt Janowski off 3, and Jason Doyle on 3 points so far. Could really do with a handy result here, because this will be his 3rd of 5th outings, and he can't really afford to put himself under too much pressure for his final race later in the evening to try and edge through into the semis.
I just wonder whether conditions now may just suit him a little bit better. Doesn't mind a bit of grip, rides in the UK, of course, and doesn't mind when it gets a little bit rough and tough. Doyley from the outside. Janowski's riding nicely. Zagar's having a good night, riding really well tonight, Zagar. So this is a strong lineup.
Oh, movement from Lindback on the inside gate. Will the referee let it go? Matt Janowski in the white helmet colour has got that lead. Lindback now in red is in second spot right now. Here comes Doyle up the inside in yellow.
Lovely.
Sweet move from Jason Doyle from last to second. He made that look so easy. Zagar's third and Lindback's gone to the back.
Well, Zagar missed it completely, but what a first turn that was from Doyle. He went so wide and was nowhere, and then dive-bombed into turn 3 and came through into second place. Zagar's bike's working a treat tonight. He's got speed everywhere, but the man that's cleared off so far is Janowski. He is going great guns, pouring it on down that back straight. Doyle working hard out in the dirt on the outside. They're all chasing it now, Nige. As they go into the last lap, this is Janowski's. He's having a good night.
Yeah, and it was a sweet move from Jason Doyle. That was really good to see from last to second in one swoop. But look at Janowski go here, absolutely flying and tearing the opposition apart. Doyle finishing in second spot. Matty Zagar wouldn't let Doyle relax, pushed him hard there, and that's a good ride from Matt Janowski. Made it look easy, didn't he, there?
Well, he said in his interview that he was hoping for a bit more grip later on, and well, they delivered it for him. That's the best time of the night so far. All of a sudden, we're beginning to see the track really come alive, and this Grand Prix, as a consequence, will burst into life as well. Doyle in second. Brilliant ride from him.
Zagar third, and Lindback at the back on that occasion. Zagar on 6 now. Janowski leads the way on 8 points. He's ridden nicely. He's virtually in the semi-finals already. He should be with a couple of race wins to his name.
It's a good thing they did to the track, you know, because all of a sudden we're seeing the real potential of this Torun track. Lindback a bit twitchy on the start line. I don't like that angle because you can't quite see. That's a better one.
He's a lucky lad there.
He is a lucky lad. What a start from Janowski. That bike just powers to the first corner. Doyle goes a little bit too wide there, but look at this move. Look at the speed he gets here.
Wow.
Fantastic. And it just has enough room to squeeze up the inside of Lindback to get himself into second. Zagar keeps him very honest, mind, because Zagar's going well. And Doyle then coming charging through there. That was a smashing move from the Australian. But Janowski's the star here. He goes very nicely as well. And gate 3 worked a treat for him. And he's leading away on 8 points. Good night so far, and when he's on, he is top draw, Janowski, but he just goes missing every now and again.
Why did the referee not pull the start up for an unsatisfactory start, do you think?
Can't explain it.
Okay, cheers. Emil Saifutinov off the inside in red. Bartosz Marslik.
I'll have to phone a friend.
Yeah, Bartosz Marslik off gate 2 in blue. Then it's Mikael Mikkelsen off gate 3 white. And Artem Laguta. I've got my journalist head on again, haven't I? Why did he not do that? What's your thoughts?
That's right.
Artem Laguta off the outside.
Oh, somebody else.
Ah, dear.
Anyway.
Yeah, heat 11 it is.
We'll never know. But there we are. It's Krista Gargel's last weekend as a referee.
As an FIM referee, yeah, it is.
He's going to have to go into retirement in his mid-50s, that's it. But he's been a good referee.
Yeah, because your eyesight starts to go in your mid-50s, doesn't it, Cal?
Clearly then. He didn't put it back, he saw nothing wrong with it. Smarslik's out here, this is important. The world champion's on the start line. Can he bounce back?
Yep, he's in the blue helmet colour. Smarslik off the second gate, and it's Saifutinov has made a lovely start in red. Now has Smarslik got the speed down the back straight? He has to get the better. And Mikkelsen up the inside, but Saifutinov closes the door on the inside run there. It's Saifutinov from Smarslik. Battle at the back here. Mikkelsen just getting the better of Laguta.
That was really tight as they went into turn 3 because Mikkelsen's coming, but Saifutinov's worked it out. He failed to score first time, won second time, and he made another great start off the inside and is looking quick, really quick out in front. I think Smarslik was fully expecting to charge down there and come through into the lead. Not out of it, he's running high and wide as they go into the last turn, but certainly Saifutinov looking really good in front here.
Yeah, you'd expect Saifutinov to see the job through from here, but Smarslik has got a lot of speed, we know that, but Emil is riding a nice line.
He is indeed.
And I think that's what's going to see him through here. Inside run, down to the line we go. Smarslik second, and Laguta, I think, may just have got third there.
Yeah, it was really tight with Laguta.
Yes.
And Smarslik's at 2 points for him. It's not having a great night now. He's on to
5 from 3, yeah.
5 from 3. Still time to be done. Lovely ride from Emil.
He's got 2 rides left, Kelf.
Yeah, should do it. No real alarm bells yet. But for Saifutinov, after failing to score, he's had 2 back-to-back wins. Lovely.
Indeed, Saifutinov the winner. 6 points for him now then, and he's comfortably in the top 8.
Laguta third then?
Yes.
It was, yeah. Good ride.
Yep, Artem Laguta on the line, and Mikkelsen trailed in at the back. He'll be absolutely devastated about that, Mikael, for letting points slip. But what about Emil Saifutinov? He's the great enigma of the championship this year. He's brilliant 1 minute.
He's hit or bust.
Hit or miss,
yeah. Hit or miss, but look at it. He certainly hits here because the inside gate works a treat for him. Look at that. I tell you, that's so tight. He took a chance there, Smarslik. Coming round the outside nines. This was really, really close as they go into turn 3, first lap. Hope we see it again, because Mikkelsen's on the inside here. There isn't a lot of racing room here, I tell you. And there, he was actually nearly running in the back of Saifutinov. That was the concern. But he's got these fantastic reactions, but the Russian pushes on and wins nicely. Smarslik, well, he'll be just relieved that he completes the 4 laps. And Laguta still in third off of Mikkelsen on the run to the line on the last lap. But for that man, 6 out of 9, all of a sudden his meeting's on track. And the team have figured out what they got wrong in the first race, because the next 2 have worked a treat.
Yeah, well, I can tell you the World Under-21 final took place today in Pardubice in the Czech Republic. And the new World Under-21 champion is Jamin Lidzi of Australia.
Do you know, he's been having a great season for Lejno, and he's been coming of age in the Extraliga, and no real surprise.
4th place, Great Britain's Dan Bewley. 2nd place, Dominik Kubera. 3rd, Oleg Mikhailov.
Well,
Lidzi, Kubera, Mikhailov, Bewley, the finishing order there.
Well, congratulations to Lidzi. That's a great result. A big boost for him. And I tell you what, he's a rider with a big future.
I reckon Bellevue could have won the league this year with him in the team. Anyway, heat number 12.
We'll never know, mate.
We'll never know. Heat number 12 it is then, and away from the start. It's a good one for Woffenden off the inside gate in red. That allows Madsen the opportunity in yellow to just have a cheeky little move up the inside run here. But Woffenden riding nicely. Woffenden has the lead. It's Leon Madsen second. Third in blue is Martin Vasilik, the Slovakian. And once again, trailing at the back is Patrick Dudek. Madsen now starting to ask questions of Ty Woffenden, Kel.
He is indeed. He had speed last time out and was able to come through to the front. Terrific stuff from Ty Woffenden off the inside. Got the to say Martin Vashalik went too wide in the first corner. Madsen is dangerous, and Woofenden's electing to ride on the inside, and Madsen now all of a sudden building the speed here in the third lap. They're coming into the last lap.
Oh, he's left
This
again.
is going to get really tight into the last lap. Woofenden out in front, looking for back-to-back wins. Can Madsen do anything about it?
Well, one thing's for sure, Woofenden, Lindgren and Smarslik all going about it the right way to go into the semis, and now we need to close the door here. Woofenden, he's
smart
coming up.
ride.
Great ride, Ty Woofenden of Great Britain. 2 wins on the bounce, had to work hard, and really rode nicely there, Kel.
Yeah, he had eyes in the back of his head going into the last corner there, Nice, because Madsen was working it out, but he kept Madsen guessing. That's the sign of a really clever rider, and he does the business. Good away from the tapes, and back-to-back wins for the 3-time former champion.
Yep, 6 points from 3 rides now for Ty. That'll do him nicely. So Janowski leads the way on 8, but significantly in the title race. Smarslik, Woofenden.
Great news, American football fans. Pick'em, the official tipping competition of the NFL, is back. Proudly presented by Tab. And we're giving you the chance to share in a weekly prize of $5,000 for every round of the 2020 season. Get in on the action for free, and you could also walk away with a $15K grand prize at the end of the season. Sign up today at nflpick'em.com.au. Tab, long may we play.
Think of the people who need your support. Gamble responsibly.
Bold choice. Yeah. Bold taste.
Fanta, bold choice, bold taste. So raise your glass to the victors, the winners and the big hitters. Raise your glasses up. Shout it out, shout it out.
Madsen was coming, and he just covered all the angles nicely. So 6 points out of 3 rides, back-to-back wins, always handy race wins, of course. He's going along very nicely, and all of a sudden this meeting is beginning to come alive nicely.
Goodness me. A snake in Polish colours. Interesting attire in the spectators tonight. But yeah, it's livened up a bit. That batch of 4 heats was a bit better, wasn't it, Kel?
Yeah, with the track grading they did last time has paid big dividends, and there's no doubt that it's livened it up. So long may that continue.
Well, I think we can hear from Freddie Lindgren now in the pits.
So far, Freddie, things are looking good out there. 3 really good, comfortable heats.
Yeah, I know. Overall, picking up the points which are important. You know, we have to take us past the first hurdle to make it to the semi, so I'm on my way.
How are you feeling? Do you think you can do this?
Well, I'll take 1 hit at a time. You know, it's hopefully I can make it a long night tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And tell me what the track's like now.
Oh, it's fairly slick. It's pretty typical Torun track. It's a little bit of dirt on the outside. They created a little bit now. You can see in the first couple of heats it was mostly the inside. Now the guys are moving up wider, so yeah, it's typical Torun track.
Okay, well the red gate seems to be working sort of the best out of all of the gates. That's your gate coming up next.
You know, I don't really care what gate I'm on. You know, I'm just gonna make it to the first turn, make good decisions in the first corner, and make it happen.
All right, thanks, Freddie. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's riding really nicely, and he's doing the job, and he's been doing it all season long, actually, in the Grand Prix Series. He's been rock solid. He's giving himself a really good chance of being crowned world champion this year, and
taking 1 race at a time is sensible as well.
He's not getting ahead of himself, which is the right way to be. He's not looking too far to the future, just basically living in the present. And no, he's a major threat for Smarslik, that's for sure.
Yeah, so it is a shame to see all the empty seats in Torun tonight, but it's better to see a crowd in than no crowd at all. Of course, plans in the UK to reintroduce spectators to sporting stadia have been put on hold for the time being. Well, at least we do have a crowd for this Grand Prix tonight, like we did in Prague, like we have in Gorzów and Wrocław as well. And it is a beautiful setting, a great stadium. And you know, in the shadows of the main square as well. It's It's a perfect Grand Prix venue.
It's just on the outskirts of town, and it's a lovely spot. They sold the old stadium, which is now a shopping centre.
Down the road.
And just down the road, which is a shopping mall, actually, now. And they moved just about a kilometre up the road, and they've got a brand new stadium, which is a fantastic place. But the town itself is also very nice as well.
Always a delight to visit Torun. Let's get some more rider reaction now.
Emil, 2 really good heats out there, but the first one not so good. Did you change your setup between the first and the second?
You know, it's from beginning we test, you know, with some different engine, and you know, after first hit, you know, we changed some few things, and it's for that moment, you know, it's working. So we will see, you know, it's I just want, you know, is to be focused and continue, you know, that pace.
Okay, sorry, Emma, I was struggling to hear you out there, but tell me, it must be nice to see the fans, a really good effect from the fans out there.
You know, his track is very good, you know, and just, you know, we just try to keep, you know, our focus, and then it will be okay.
Okay, and pushing all the way, obviously you won a podium place tonight. You think it's possible with the form that you're on so far?
You know, I don't think about that, you know, I just want to focus it, you know, it's about my points today, and just want to, like, enjoy, you know, every my race. So just my plan, you know, to get the final and take some place, you know.
I bet. Thanks so much, Emil.
Well, he's won here, and he knows how to do it. He's a bit of a track specialist. He rides nicely. Not easy being interviewed for either of them when there's bikes revving up in the background, but I think he slightly misunderstood Kiri there about could you make the podium tonight. I think he thought maybe the podium in the World Championship. I think it is about him enjoying his racing, but he needs to keep winning races. He's too good to be running last. He was a lot of people's favourite for this year's championship. It hasn't worked out that way, but a big weekend for Sir Emil Sayfutdinov. I feel confident that we will, whatever happens, wherever he finishes, he'll be back next year. He's too good not to be. Laguta as well. I expect both the Russians to be back in if they miss the top 6, which, as you rightly said at the top of the beginning of the programme, Nigel, you know, there's going to be some big reputations outside the top 6. It's just inevitable. And you can't just replace them all in one foul swoop, can you? You're going to have a blend of youth and experience. I understand we want young riders coming into the series. That's important. Of course it is. But also guys with another 10 years of racing in front of them, you need them, you know, because they've also been so successful as well. The Speedway of Nations, 2 back-to-back Speedway of Nation victories. I mean, that must count for something.
Well, it has to, absolutely. They're world champions, for goodness sake. So. Yeah, but here we see Janowski leading on 8, Lindgren on 7, and then you have a whole group of riders on 6 points apiece. And then Bartosz Marslik on 5 with Laguta and Doyley. So
tight.
It is very, very tight and bunched up there, isn't it?
Oh, even Vashlik on 12, you know, in 12th on 4. I mean, these last 2 rides, I mean, it's really going to be important. You don't want to dip out now because it could go any way. And it's a really tight evening. Madsen coming out here off of gate number 1. Never discount him, and he's got his evening on track. And
he's favourite for this race, isn't he?
Yes. Yes, although Laguta is also a potential winner. I actually fancied Laguta or Madsen to win tonight. I think that they are potential Grand Prix winners because this sort of track suits them. And Madsen last year, he was stunning. He was just unbeatable, wasn't he? I mean, he had so much speed. So Leon beginning to find his form. Not quite as dominant as he was last year, but hasn't been quite as fit, I don't think. No, the inside gate should suit him here.
Absolutely right. Madsen should make the start off the inside gate, but we'll see. It's another good lineup here. Heat 12, Heat 13 even follows Heat 12, and Heat 13 is next because we've had Heat 12. Here we go.
Have a rerun of Heat 12.
Here we go then with heat number 13, and it's Leon Madsen off the inside gate. Antonio Lindback going off 2. Artem Laguta going off gate number 3 in white. And then it's Max Frick who's had a good night so far. He's on 6 points off gate number 4, and we know that the outside run is working a little bit better now as well, so Max will hold out for that, of course.
Yeah, draw number 1, so he's out after the track grading every time this evening, but he's done well so far this evening. He won his opening ride. He's picked up points in every race, so he's looking good. And could he be making his first semi-final of the year? He is within touching distance with 2 rides to come. And Artem Laguta also, another rider that run his last ride. Excuse me, he didn't win his last ride. He won his second outing, so he will be in with a shout as well. So a competitive line, but Lindbäck's still struggling. But the man on the inside, we fancy he could be favourite here. Leon Madsen, who's going well. And might just come under pressure from Max Frick if he really gets away nicely. Interesting race, this one.
Yep, heat number 13 it is then. Oh, a little bit of an edgy start.
Brilliant.
Laguta from gate number 3 swoops across superbly. Now, Madsen on the inside run. Frick is going high and wide around the outside in the yellow helmet. And here now is Madsen on the inside run. Can he take out Laguta? He's got the speed and he just about holds the line. Good race developing here at the front and at the back. And Madsen has got the lead, and look at the lead. He's stretched out there now over Laguta, and Max Frick has gone through into 3rd.
Yeah, well, Laguta left the door open there and then panicked when he saw Leon Madsen come alongside him and actually shut the throttle. He should have just kept it on and probably would have stayed out in front. It's not to be. Madsen now takes advantage of that and is pulling away out in front, and the favourite in our minds for the race is proving to be. He's into the last lap, should win from there. Laguta, well, 2nd place is better than nothing. Could have been 3, but for Leon Madsen, he's beginning to look a major threat for the night now. Looking good.
Yeah, riding brilliantly here. Leon Madsen in red gets the better of Artem Laguta, and Max Frick had to work hard there to come through into 3rd place, but
handy point.
Yeah, absolutely. Leon Madsen now moves on to 9 points from his 4 rides, and he should be safe now for a semi-final spot with 1 race in hand. So good work from Leon Madsen, just strengthening his position in the top 6 and an automatic spot for next year.
59.4, fast time.
Yeah, good time.
Fast time.
Good race there as well.
It was, yeah, but I don't know if you noticed, but like Artem Laguta just got literally frightened out of his life when Leon Madsen came up the inside of him. He actually shut the throttle halfway down the straight, and I thought, well, maybe he should have kept it on. I wonder if we'll see it now, but fantastic start initially. Laguta is a wonderful starter. He has got such a cool technique. Madsen knows these conditions are right up his alley. Max Frick coming through into 3rd place. He works hard, he goes very wide. No, we don't quite see it. We're seeing the start again. Frick from the outside. His start's made to look particularly poor because Laguta made such a good one from gate 3, and he hits the front, and you would have thought he would win from there. But now he runs wide here, and that allows Leon to come up the inside. And now he gets there, and he just shuts the throttle off. He's not quite sure what Madsen's going to do. And now when you see the replay, you understand why, because Madsen was a bit untidy.
Stay out of trouble.
To stay out of trouble, so he was probably wise to do so. I thought that maybe he could have kept it on, but Leon and Laguta doing nicely. But this man is in this, and when he gets confidence, he's dangerous, and he's got very good memories of this place from last year, of course.
Look at this for a lineup. Heat number 14. Jason Doyle off the inside gate. Then it's Ty Woffenden on 6 points. Emil Seifudenhoff on 6 points as well. And both Emil and Ty, identical scoreline. Started with a 0 and then 2 straight wins to their name. And then Niels Christian Iversen, who's had an awful night so far. He goes off the outside. Jacko, who is mainstay of Ty Woffenden's pit crew, in the pits watching on.
He runs the show.
14, he does indeed, yeah.
Here we go. This could be quite a lineup here. Well, it is quite a lineup, and Seifudenhoff and Woffenden going great guns in their last 2 outings. Here we go. See which way this goes.
Could be a tear up this one, and it's a good start from Doyle off gate 1 in red. Now Seifudenhoff is going to try the outside run down that back straight. Woffenden's just having a go on the inside run. Here comes Seifudenhoff on the inside of Jason Doyle. Doyle will go wide and try and get the speed in the drive, but Seifudenhoff is on fire. Seifudenhoff, Doyle, Woffenden, Iversen, that is the way they are right now, and look at Emil Seifudenhoff go.
Fabulous stuff from Emil. Certainly they made a few tweaks after the first ride, and that bike is flying out in front. Doyle off the inside made the start initially, but he had no answers for the Russian rocket. Woofenden there working hard in third place, with Everson now tailed off out the back. But this looks like it's going to go 3 on the spin for Emil Seifudenhoff. Really beginning to work it out in front. Doyle hanging on for second place. Can Woofenden do anything about it? Don't think he can from there now.
No, Doyle's riding a good line here. He knows exactly where to put the bike. And now Woofenden will have one last go up the inside, but it's not enough there for him. And it's a win for Emil Seifudenhoff, who makes it 3 on the bounce. 9 points from 4 rides.
Nice riding.
9 points from his last 3 rides. Brilliant rides.
Yes.
From Emil Seifudenhoff. Couple of points for Jason Doyle there as well. Puts him on to 7. And 1 point for Woofenden puts him on to 7 as well. Everson still yet to trouble the scorers. He'll just want this night over with as quickly as possible, I'm sure. Emil on to 9, Woofenden on 7, and Doyle on 7. Look how many riders are on 7 points apiece.
It's quite unbelievable that Niels Christian Everson, every time he's raced here, has made the final. He is out of form and things are not working well for him. I'll tell you who's working well now is Emil Seifudenhoff, because he's third there, but the bike works a treat. Look how this bike just drives down that back straight. Doyle goes chasing for the dirt, but it's just a little bit greasy now. It's cold out there and a little bit of moisture on the top. And his bike didn't hook up as much as he would have liked, and this man's bike is now working a treat. And when they get it right, you know, Emil Seifudenhoff is genuine world class, but they don't get it right often enough, in my opinion. And otherwise he would be a major threat to be world champion. And all of a sudden he's looking good. And Ty Woofenden on the inside there just misses out this time, with Doyle riding a strong race to finish in second place. This is the action where we see Seifudenhoff coming through to pick up the win. And he's a lovely rider, he really is. Here we see Doyle and Woofenden working hard for second and third, and try as he might, Woofenden can't quite get the better of the 2017 world champion. For that man, he's in the semi-finals, he's winning races back-to-back, and he's looking good, I tell you.
He is, absolutely. Well, heat number 15 coming up next, and we have Freddie Lindgren off the inside gate in red, second in the standings ahead of tonight. And a real opportunity now for Fast Freddie off the gate number 1 position. Wins this one, and he'll go on to 10 points. So that'll be into the semi-finals yet again for Freddie. He's off the inside here. Mikkel Mikkelsen going off gate 2 in blue. Then it's Patrick Dudek, gate 3 white, and Mate Zegar going off the outside gate in yellow.
Just a quick word on Dudek. I think Dudek needs a big performance from somewhere to convince people he should be back.
And he's made a good start. He heard you there.
He heard me.
Gate number 3, Patrick Dudek has made the start nicely. He's got the lead ahead of Freddie Lindgren, who's now under pressure from Zegar. And Zegar charging through. Lindgren hangs onto the bike, but he's gone to the back because Mikkelsen's come through as well. This is going to get interesting now. Look at Lindgren on the inside run. Oh, straight through brilliantly. He makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
Wow, I don't think it was, because
no, it wasn't.
He had a bit of good fortune there, but by crikey, he took his opportunity. Superb start from Dudek away from gate number 3. What a roller coaster of a ride for Freddie Lindgren. He was at the back, he's now back into second place. Unbelievable stuff. Zegar hanging on to third place with a scrap with Mikkel Mikkelsen. Into the last lap, Patrick Dudek. This is much more like it from him. He's riding largely in front.
He's got this race in the bag, no problem. Patrick Dudek is going to move on to 5 from 4 rides. A win in his last ride may just nick a semi-final spot.
God, I tell you what, Lindgren does it the hard way sometimes. Going into turn 3, he was bouncing and straightened up. I thought he was in real trouble. He then had to grab hold of the motorbike. He got it back in. They all then... They went wide again in the next lap, and he was able to come through into second place. What a race, and how much can happen in 60 seconds.
Zegar was third on that occasion, and Mikkel Mikkelsen at the back. He's only got 1 point from 4 rides now, but the point for Mate Zegar is quite handy. He moves on to 7 from 4 now and can still make the semi-final. What a start from gate 3.
Brilliant start from Dudek. We just spoke about it, about he needs to do something special, and he delivered, and that's fantastic. Zegar there, that's the moment for Lindgren. he was unsettled by that move from Zagar, and he was bouncing out of shape. It was all untidy, but look how he recovers here. Mikkel Mikkelsen then running wide and pushes Zagar wide as they go into turn 1 for the second time, and Freddie's able to recapture second place. Watch it down the back straight here, because Zagar chops to the inside there, unsettles him there. The bike's bouncing around. I tell you, he was uncomfortable there. He was hanging on for grim death, I tell you. There, that was wild. But he had the composure, he has the concentration to immediately switch back on and picks up a very useful second place.
Here's a question for you, Kel. Now, with this point system the way it is now, it's all about getting into the semi-finals to go for the big points in the final. Do we get to this stage when you're in the hunt for the title race where you start thinking a little bit more, I know the word safety in Speedway, it's a dangerous sport, but would you get off the gas occasionally just to protect your self-interest, your self-preservation?
Well, I'm sure it's something that will go through your mind if you have the luxury of the points in the bag. Absolutely right, because you don't have to win every race now. You just don't have to, and we've seen Lindgren actually benefit big time from the new point scoring system in the opening round.
Yep, so heat number 16 is coming up here now. And Jack Holder, the wild card, is off gate number 2 in blue. Needs a result here if he's going to have any chance, really, of making the semi-final. The man off the inside gate is the reigning champion, Bartosz Zmarzlik, and he's made a beauty. Sweet as you like. Away from gate 1, Bartosz Zmarzlik in the red helmet colour. Now down the back straight, Vašilik all over the place, in trouble, and gets himself out of trouble. Now charging through is Jack Holder. Watch out for Zmarzlik's back wheel. Vašilik, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Janowski now in yellow as well is joining in. This is fun and games, and Zmarzlik's gone to 3rd.
Well, I'll tell you what, the pressure's on the world champion now. He rode in the wrong place. He rode right around the inside, too conservative, and Martin Vašilik had 2 goes at it, and the second time he said, well, I'm coming through. Janowski's followed him, and I'll tell you what, Maciej Janowski is really rapid in second place. He looks like a potential winner for me in this heat. Zmarzlik's going to have some big-time work to do with 1 ride to go here. All of a sudden, drama. This is putting a lot of pressure on, and the championship could be changing here. Janowski around the outside. Can he do it?
He's going to do the inside run. He's going to try it, but Vašilik has just held on. Good speedway. Good speedway.
Wow.
And
Zmarzlik under pressure night.
Yeah, absolutely. First to last. I don't think we've seen that all season. I think that's probably the first time that we've seen Bartosz let his guard down, and he's on 6 points from 4 rides. So Zmarzlik is going to need to do something in his last ride to make the semis. Vašilik, Janowski, Zmarzlik, Holder, your finishing order in heat number 16. And you see now, Bartosz Zmarzlik is a point off the top 8 right now on 6 points.
Great news, American football fans. Pick'em, the official tipping competition of the NFL, is back. Proudly presented by Tab. And we're giving you the chance to share in a weekly prize of $5,000 for every round of the 2020 season. Get in on the action for free, and you could also walk away with a $15K grand prize at the end of the season. Sign up today at nflpick'em.com.au. Tab, long may we play.
Think of the people who need your support. Gamble responsibly.
To push yourself to the limit, you need Brute heavy-duty sweat protection. So back yourself to perform with Brute military-grade protection. Hoorah! Back yourself with Brute military grade.
They said we might not make it, but they talk a lot, don't they? Too young, too old, just not their year. But in a season where you've already proved them wrong once, why would you listen?
For his last ride, not really what he was wanting, and all of a sudden that crash he had earlier on has put extra pressure on him. Martin Vašilik, well, as always, Vašilik working hard and giving himself an opportunity to make the semis this evening. Fair play to him.
And here come the 4 tractors. Off the inside is the
one in the green.
Yeah. So a bit of tractor racing around Torun.
They've got great gear here, though.
Oh, it's fantastic. Proper equipment, yeah.
Proper equipment. But just look at Zmarzlik. You know, he has been the dominant rider in this year's championship. He's won 3 out of 6 rounds. He's had a bit of a mishap tonight, and then he's come back and he hasn't been quite at his best. And heat 18 is drama. Could that dictate which way the World Championship goes, Nigel? It really could.
He's got the inside gate, Kelv, and you would think that he would cash in from that point of view. But when you see Lindgren off 4, Madsen's quick tonight, and Doyle needs points.
Exactly, you can't rule it out. That's not the sort of heat you'd want to have points out of, would you?
Great lineup. Great line. It's good stuff, though, isn't it?
It's giving us something to get excited about.
It's livened up, hasn't it, Kelv?
It needed to.
First 8 heats were just ordinary, weren't they, really? I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah, it was.
Just ordinary.
They were, and since they made that change to the track, it has improved, and that's encouraging. Jason Doyle working hard and looking to make the semi-finals this evening.
Got his winter coat on.
And it does get chilly there, though, Nigel.
Yes, it does.
And it has an impact on the way the bikes run as well. Looking at the weather forecast, it looks like it's going to be warmer tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be fine tomorrow.
So it should be a lovely evening to finish the championship on.
Yeah.
And it's always a nice place to actually conclude the championship, actually.
Now, I think we can hear from Martin Vasilik, who's reignited his night. And he is with Kiri here.
Well, Martin, that was certainly a good heat out there.
Yeah, finally. Because, yeah, from beginning we was a little bit struggling with setup. Like always on this track when it's Grand Prix, it's very hard to find a good setup for the speed, but now look like we find something, so yeah, just hope it will work also for other heats.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like you should have enough to get through to the semis as well. And you're also in contention for next year.
Well, you know, we will see. Still it's not end, and still pretty long way to go. So I'm focused about now and just try my best every heat and just show my best.
All right. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you.
Yeah, he came into the evening on 63 World Championship points, which puts him 6 behind Doyle, who's in 6th place, so he's in 7th. So I'm sure he's got that in mind to try and make his way through. Now, this is crunch time here, and there's no doubt that they're working hard. And
serious conversation going on there, isn't
Bartos
it?
gets well and truly involved in this. He doesn't just allow the mechanics to make the choices. He understands, and he is deep in conversation with his crew there to try and get it right for a very important Heat 18.
I think he'll win that race. I'm going to put my neck on the line now. I think Bartos will win that race and get into the semis. If he didn't, and if he only ran 3rd and failed to make the semis, we could have a new World Championship leader going into the final night, which would be absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I think they're struggling for setup. The track from his opening ride to now is very different, and I think that race where he actually tipped himself off the back was crucial, because now all of a sudden the next 2 races he hasn't been quite as fast. He hasn't been on it, and I think he's just a bit rattled. And he's only human, he's going to be rattled, and he's the championship leader trying to win his 2nd World Championship. It doesn't get much tougher than that. And the people are charging and hunting him down. So it's a massive character test in Heat 18.
What's it like when you are waiting for your final Grand Prix the week before, and you are leading the title race and you know you can be world champion? What's the week before like, leading up to the final round?
It's not that pleasant, actually, because, you know, it's on your mind, of course, all the time. You try and keep yourself busy, you try and distract yourself at times, but it's always lurking there. And it's how you handle that, and that's a true test for champions, and that's what makes champions, when they can come to terms with it. So we've got more grip being generated on the track. Phil doing a bit of a sprint there.
Fit lad, Phil, isn't he?
Well, he's certainly getting fitter because he's doing a lot of running. He doesn't want too much water on, which will be good, because it gets greasy when it's cold. Max Frick has ridden nicely. I think that he would deserve a semi-final tonight, and that would be timely. I think very timely, with all the print and press that Jack Holder got coming into this night.
Yes, and here we see the standings with 4 heats to go, 1 ride each.
He can do it,
remaining.
you know, Frick. He can do it.
Yeah, it's
look how tough it is, though.
Really tough.
Smarslick, he won't be focusing on that stat very much, will he?
No, he wouldn't like to see that.
No, he wasn't. He's just got to think about winning Heat 18. You fancy him, I think he might struggle. I think there's definitely riders that are in better form than him coming into that race. So it's not a foregone conclusion.
Well, I have been proved wrong before.
Oh, it wouldn't be a surprise if he won it. Of course, he's genuine class, world class. But I just sense that they're just a little bit uncertain about which way to go. And that's not what you want when you're coming out for your 5th ride and you need points. It's not an ideal situation. Dudek last time was great. He made a superstar from gate 3 and won well. But I tell you what, this is a lineup here with Saifutinov winning races for fun. Janowski going great guns as well. I tell you what, Heat 17, this is quite a tasty lineup here. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Dudek, a winner last time out as well. Just found that from nowhere.
Yes.
Don't know whether it was just a tweak in the pits. And
needs to win this last one, though, doesn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. That would put him onto 8 points, and with 2 race wins, that stands him in good stead as well. So, heat number 17 is coming up at the Marion Rose Motor Arena in Torun, round 7 of the 2020 FIM Speedway World Championship. And heat 17 is next. Heat number 17 is coming up with Max Frick off the inside gate, 7 points to his name. Emil Saifutinov hugely impressive tonight, gate 2. Maciej Janowski gate 3 with 10 points. And Patrick Dudek, can he repeat his race win of last time out? Put him on to 8. And with 2 race wins, that would help him in countback if that was what was necessary. It's a big Heat 17, a top lineup here, Cal.
Indeed it is, and there are all sorts of permutations here. The rider in the blue helmet colour there, Saifutinov, has been riding really nicely in his last 3 outings. This man, Dudek, well, this is a tough call for him coming from gate 4. But if he can reproduce the sort of start he did last time, then who knows? He might just creep into the semi-finals tonight, but not an easy task. Max Frick on the inside has ridden well tonight and probably deserves a semi-final, but Grand Prix, it's tough and a cruel environment. There's not going to be any sympathy here from the other 3, that's for sure. Big lineup here, 17.
Yep, Heat 17 it is then here. A little bit nervy at the start, but that's a beauty from the inside gate from Max Frick. Superb in the red helmet colour. Now driving hard around the outside is Maciej Janowski, and up the inside.
Brilliant.
Makes it look easy. A bit of magic from Maciej Janowski. Max Frick is second right now. Saifutinov third.
Frick.
And Frick comes back up the inside again. Some terrific speedway here.
Oh, they've scraped the outside and it's working. Look at this. Ding-dong battle out in front. They've swapped places a couple of times, but Max Frick, he is going great guns here. Superb ride from him. Dudek looks like he may have just missed out here, but Maciej Janowski hooking up round the outside, coming on again in second place. This race is not over yet, but Max Frick looking like a semi-finalist from there.
Yeah, this will be a great achievement for Max Frick. He's got the lead. Janowski trying the high line one more time, and he's got speed. He's going to come on strong for one last go in the banking in that 3rd and 4th turn. Frick's done enough, though, surely here now. Max Frick to the line.
Brilliant ride.
Second, and Emil Saifutinov in 3rd spot there. Patrick Dudek's night is over, but that was a great race, and what a performance from Max Frick of Australia. Stunning ride for the former Bellevue Aces man.
Well, I tell you what, I'm chuffed to bits for him, because there's no question he would have been aware of what was being spoken about Jack Holder, but that's a sensational ride in a terrific lineup. Brilliant stuff from Frick.
Yeah, Frick the winner, and he is in the semis. He's got 10 points, same as Emil Saifutinov on 10, Janowski on 12. That's superb. So there's 3 riders on double figures now that we know we'll see in the semi-finals. Well done, Max Frick. Great effort.
Yeah, a timely performance. Very timely indeed, because he makes a lovely start. Just felt for him right here. But then Janowski, look at the grip he got there and the speed as he powered out of gate turn 2, excuse me. And gate 2 was all about Saifutinov this time. Doesn't make the start he was looking for, the Russian rocket. And just locks there, and that kills his speed, and Janowski's able to pounce. Then he comes through to hit the front. But Frick doesn't panic. I've got to give him a lot of credit here. He doesn't panic and then gets the better of the Polish boy, puts himself in the way. And Janowski, as hard as he tries, can't quite get back up the inside. Very good ride that from Frick. Classy ride. A tough ride, but it needed to be, because he wanted to win the race and move himself through into the semi-finals, which he achieved. Fair play to him, because they're teammates in Wrocław, so they know each other very well. But for Max Frick, 10 points. The best performance this season so far in the Grand Prix. Brilliant.
Yeah, well done to him. And what about this for a lineup now? Heat number 18 is huge for this man in red, Bartosz Marslik. Only 6 points from 4 rides so far.
Crunch time.
It is crunch time. If he doesn't get a second place here, or preferably a first, he could be in a bit of trouble when it comes to making it through to the semi-finals. Doyle is off 2. Madsen is off 3. Lindgren, who's second in the World Championship before tonight, is off the outside, and he will be in the semi-finals.
That's his 3rd bike. Bartosz Marslik, the world champion, on his 3rd bike. Things are not quite going to plan. What a Heat 18 we've got here.
A throw of the dice for Bartosz Marslik. It's win or bust almost in heat number 18. Here we go, the green light is on, and into that first turn. Doyle's got there. Smarslik now will move him wide. That allows Madsen the run on the inside. Has Smarslik got the drive? Yes, he has, off gate 1 in red. But has he got the speed now? Because Doyle tries the outside run. Lindgren is coming through as well. They're all bunched up going into lap 2. Smarslik looking good here, but he's got a little bit of work to do, Kelvin.
Well, he's coming good when he really needed to. Fair play to the world champion. Great stuff for second place. That's going to do Smarslik a big favour, because all of a sudden he might have a little bit of breathing space with Doyle coming through big time on Freddie Lindgren. Now Madsen's in the mix as well, and that's allowing Bartosz Smarslik just to pull away a little bit out in front. This was a crucial run. Oh my goodness, they're packing in behind him. 1 lap to go. Proper speedway here in 18.
Lindgren again up the inside run. Holds on. Oh, how close can you get? Madsen now on the inside run in the last lap, and we're watching the leader, Bartosz Smarslik. 2nd place, Jason Doyle. 3rd, Freddie Lindgren.
Wow.
And Leon Madsen trails into the back. What a speedway race that was.
Ride of a champion there from Bartosz Smarslik, Nige. He came good. You had the faith in him. I wasn't sure. He came good when he really needed to. I don't think that was about the bike he chose. I think that was just he really wanted it there. They're not quite sure on the setup tonight, but when the chips were down, the world champion came through.
Doyle 2nd. Good ride from Jason Doyle. And that puts him on a 9. And a 3rd place in the end for Fredrik Lindgren of Sweden.
It was quite a wild race going on behind. They were really having a go for 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
Let's watch it again. Smashing start. I tell you what, Doyle made a great start there, but Smarslik, he just got there. The inside gate kind of saved him there. Down the back straight, they're queuing up behind him. He hasn't got lots and lots of speed, Smarslik, now. Oh. And they very nearly, Freddie Lindgren right in the thick of the action, and Doyle then come charging up the inside of the Swede. And the Aussie and the Swede, I tell you what, that was really tough racing. Freddie having a good look at him, that's to come out of the throttle. Madsen then gets in on the act. Throw a blanket over 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Brilliant speedway, World Championship speedway at its best. But for world champion Bartosz Smarslik, that saves his night, Nigel. That was a crucial win for him.
It's livened up, Kelv. The track's come to the riders now as well.
Well, I congratulate what they've done with the track, because that has transformed it, because the first 8 races were dull, and now all of a sudden it's proper speedway. 9 points when it was looking unlikely. That last race saved Smarslik, and he's back in the hunt.
Brilliant, absolutely. So we're up to heat number 19, and that man in the white helmet colour is the unmistakable sight of Ty Wofferden, who's on 7 points, needs points here. Mika Mikkelsen and Antonio Limbach on the inside of him, and Jack Holder, the wild card, is on the outside of him. So on paper, and I know not a lot is won on paper, but Ty Wofferden should be favourite on form.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. He's been on the same bike all night, and he's been pretty solid. He's been, he's been going okay, but he needs a good finish here to really boost his confidence.
He does indeed. Can he get there? He's made a tidy start. Can he outstrip Mikael Mikkelsen in red. He can. That's a lovely ride from Ty Woffinden. And here comes Jack Holder on the inside run now, trying to get the better of Mikael Mikkelsen, which he's done. Lindback is the man in the blue helmet colour, the Swede. But this is a tidy ride from Ty Woffinden. It was an intelligent use of the track, rode the right line, and it's paying his rewards here in heat number 19.
Yeah, Woffinden pushing on, smashing start from gate number 3. Holder coming through into second place, but he's getting a bit vulnerable there. That's a good long look at Mikael Mikkelsen, sort of saying, what are you doing? Leave me alone, I want second place. Woffinden, though, he's cleared off out in front. This will finish nicely for him, and he'll be safely through into the semi-finals. 1 lap to go. Jack Holder, the wild card. I reckon he'll be better tomorrow. He'll be calmer, slightly less nervous, should be able to start a little stronger. This time, though, Woffinden's going to win in style. 3rd win in 5 outings for the triple world champion, Ty Woffinden. Good ride from him in heat number 19, with Jack Holder 2nd, Mikael Mikkelsen in 3rd, and Antonio Lindback at the back. But well done, Ty Woffinden. We'll see him again in the semi-finals, Cal. We will indeed, and it was a nice ride, fairly untroubled out in front. A little bit of a ding-dong battle going on for second place between Mikkelsen and Holder, but Holder hangs on for that. But Woffinden comfortably through to the semis now.
Yeah, Mikkelsen 3rd and Lindback at the back, and Ty Woffinden on 10. And there is a host of riders on double figures now. And 8 points is not enough for the semi-finals tonight, by the way it's shaping up. You need 9.
Yeah, competitive night. And Mikkelsen makes a good start initially, but that run from gate 3 from Woffinden works a treat. Holder comes up the inside of the Dane here and squeezes through. Pushes Mikkelsen wide here and holds it there. Gets tight for second place because Holder sort of then actually allows Mikkelsen to come back at him. But Mikkelsen can't get the better of the Aussie, and Jack Holder finishes in second place here with 2 points to his name. But Woffinden's the important man because he's through to the semi-finals. 3rd place in the World Championship, 10 points behind Smarslik coming into tonight. And a good ride from the 3-time champion, 10 points. Apart from the first race, a pretty good night so far.
Yep, so we're up to heat number 20 here. Zagar, Laguta, Iversen and Vasulik is your lineup for this one. Now, Martin Vasulik's on 7 points so far tonight. Matti Zagar is on 7 points. Vasulik's on 6, I do apologise. Matti Zagar is on 7.
I thought he was on 7, but hey, he's on 7.
2013. No, that's Vasulik.
Martin's on 7, Artem's on 7, and so is Zagar. So yeah, 3 of these riders are all within a shout. Niels Christian Iversen's having a night to forget. He hasn't scored, which is desperate for him. He'll probably win this one, but 3 of the riders here, 3 of the 4, with every chance of making the semi-final. So plenty to race for here in heat number 20.
Just throw my programme away, I think. Right, heat number 20 it is.
Have a lie down in the break.
Absolutely. And it's a good start from Zagar off the inside run. Now watch out for Vasulik in yellow around the outside. He's got speed down the back straight. Magnificent move. And Laguta's getting in on the action as well. Zagar is the man in red. Iversen's having a pop in the white helmet, and Laguta comes through now. Artem Laguta gets into second place. Martin Vasulik riding beautifully here in the yellow helmet colour, and this could be a significant result for Martin Vasulik as Zagar in 3rd tries to stay on the pace with Laguta.
Martin Vasulik, a winner last time. He's bouncing back here big time. He's a hard-working rider. He hasn't had it right all through the evening, but this looks like he could win his 2nd consecutive race. Laguta's going well in 2nd place, could win the race. Coming up the inside, it's tight. They're into the last lap. A real battle out in front for 1st and 2nd. Zagar being dropped, probably might miss out there when it looks so good tonight. Round the last corner, Martin Vasulik riding really well.
Yeah, Vasulik takes the win. Laguta had a little dabble towards the end, but alas, it doesn't get there. He finishes on 9 as well here now. And for Niels Christian Iversen, sad to report, a 0 tonight. So that's a shame for Niels. Because he's a top rider. He's much better than that, but has had his well-documented injury problems this year, of course. Vasulik, Laguta, Zagar, Iversen, and the semi-finals are coming next.
Yeah, super ride from Martin there, and it'll be interesting to see who gets in and who misses out here. It's here we see it. First corner, Martin Vashlik in the right place there. That grip up on the banking there, works a treat. Charges around the outside of Zagar. Zagar's faded away here. He looked really good earlier on. Artem Luguta had lots of speed here, and he comes through the pack and actually puts lots of pressure on Vashlik out in front. Can't quite get to him. That's the move from Luguta that seals him, probably puts him into the semi-finals. We'll have to wait. But it's a nice ride from the Russian, who is outside the top 6 and wants to put in a big performance. He wants to be a Grand Prix rider next year. Of course he does. Martin Vashlik, the same. The motivation to be in the Grand Prix series next year is strong. He's outside the top 6, wants to be in there, charging hard, putting pressure on Doyle, who is in 6. But for Martin Vashlik, the last 2 rides, he has got himself really sorted out, and he's finished with a bit of a rattle there. Struggled early on, admitted that they hadn't quite got it right, but the last 2 rides, he's ridden really nicely.
Well, it's turned into an enjoyable Grand Prix now for the last 12 races or so. It's been really good. It's been entertaining.
Meeting of 2 halves, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, the first bit was a bit dull, and then
proper speedway now.
Proper speedway, and I compliment what they've done with the track, because they've done the right things, because they've enabled the riders to use all of it, and we're seeing the option of the outside line as well as the inside, and that's what gives this track its character. You know, you never really feel comfortable when you're in front, because riders have the options to try different lines. So brilliant stuff.
Yep, and they've got the machinery to make it work here at Torun. There's no question about that. Good to see a crowd in, as I said earlier, and Friday night at the Speedway. It is enjoyable, despite the look of that fella. We're having a good night. And it's going to be fascinating now to see what develops with the semis and the final, and you know, pressure on Smarslik again to make it through to the final.
I tell you what, that was a character-building ride, and he needed it. I tell you, look, you can say, oh, he's got the inside gate, you know, all the rest of it, but I tell you, he delivered under huge pressure.
Deep, didn't he?
He had to, and when you looked at the action going on behind him, thank God he couldn't see it, because they were coming hard at him. But that showed great character. They're not comfortable. They're riding all the bikes they got with them, and that is a clear sign that they're not quite settled. So he has scrapped his way into the semi-finals, desperate to hang on to his championship lead, desperately wants to retain his title.
Somebody got a calendar for next year there, a Speedway calendar. Let's hope it's
on.
More of a normal 2021, shall we say, in terms of Speedway fixtures.
Let's hope it's on.
Yes.
I think it definitely will be in this part of the world.
Yes.
Whether it will be in other parts of Europe, time will tell. We need people in stadiums. That's what we need. So
let the fans in is the motto.
Let the fans in. Yes, I can agree with that. And here we see a Smarslik sponsor or fan, certainly very pleased.
Confirmation that Jason Doyle and Artem Luguta on 9 points have missed the semi-finals.
Wow, look how important that last ride was from Smarslik.
Yes, because Doyle hasn't won a race, Kelv.
And Luguta has.
Luguta has, but he's missed out on head-to-head. Wow. So Smarslik...
Fine margins, mate.
Nicks in. Just nicks in.
Fine margins, and just shows you how important that last ride was. Could not have afforded to finish second.
Just to think, Lindgren got through to the semis on 7 in the first round. Now you've needed 9, and even if you've scored 9, it's not got you in.
There's half a dozen on 10.
Yeah.
So Luguta picks up 8, Doyle 7. Doyle will be frustrated with that. Zagar faded badly. Holder 5. Dudek, bad night for Dudek. And Mikkelsen, Lindback and Iversen. But the big points are coming up now with the next 3 races coming up.
And because of that, Doyle's top 6 place under threat tomorrow night now.
And even tonight, because you've got Martin Vashlik, who's just behind him, with the opportunity to pick up big points. He makes the
Saifutinov as well.
And the Saifutinov. Jason Doyle is under threat of his top 6 place.
That's my point. Absolutely.
Yeah,
with 1 round to go tomorrow. It's going to be a tough night tomorrow night.
Yeah, it is indeed. So plenty of work to be done. Can't wait indeed. Can't wait for this one. This one isn't over yet, Nige. And you wouldn't put it past Smarslik still winning it.
Well, if he does, I think he's got a foot and a half in the world title. I think a hand and a half on the world title trophy.
I don't see him winning tonight, but he's done well to get this far.
Yes,
actually.
he has.
Right.
Maciej Janowski, red. Gate 1, semi-final 1. Here comes Max Frick going. They're very quick. They know what they're going for here, don't they?
So far, yes.
Very decisive.
Max Frick, Gate 3. Good to see him in the semi-final. Freddie, Gate 2.
Oh, he'll be in the mix. No problem there.
I'd be surprised if he misses the final.
He'll stir the pot.
And Leon Madsen. Well, you know, he was a winner here last year. Nobody's won back-to-back Grand Prix here, you know.
No.
Which is quite a stat, you know. I was surprised when I saw that. And you would have thought that was the case. Could Madsen now buck the trend by winning again this evening? He wants to, of course. Here we see semi-final number 2. Emil Seifutenhoff goes straight for Gate 3. Dangerous that if you don't get it, because Woofenden, a 3-time world champion, has got the inside gate.
He didn't hesitate there. I think he was
delighted to have had it. Martin, he's off gate.
So Bartos is off the outside, Kelv.
Tough. But when you only just creep in, you've got to be just able to look after, well, you've got to get what you're given. And,
he may just think, you know what, I've got nothing to lose from here.
I'll tell you what, if he makes the final, that'll be one hell of an effort.
And it'll be a blow to Lindgren and Woofenden as well, without a doubt.
I'll tell you what, this World Championship is well and truly alive. Smarslik misses the final. Woofenden and Lindgren make it. Crikey, it'll be tight going into tomorrow.
Yeah, just a little bit. Join us again tomorrow from Torun. It's going to be a terrific night. Saturday night at the Speedway, or early morning if you're one of our Australian viewers, of course. We hope you're enjoying our coverage tonight. Good news for Australian Speedway with a new world champion in Pardubice of the Czech Republic.
That is a fantastic result for Jamin Lizzie, isn't it? Brilliant. I've noticed that he was on the sidelines at the beginning of the Extraliga in Legno, but they've been using him.
Yes.
And he's been coming in with some really handy points. And quite clearly full of confidence. Pardubice is a big, fast track. And he's done the business out there. Fantastic. That's a brilliant result.
I noticed that the world long track was ridden on a speedway track in Poland last season.
I'm not in favour.
OK.
Not in favour. How can the World Long Track Championship be run on a speedway stadium?
OK. Is it because the track's particularly big that they've put it there?
No, it's only 380 metres. It's wrong.
Oh.
Not happy about it.
Would Pardubice have been suitable for a long track meeting? You wouldn't have it on a speedway track full stop.
Shouldn't be at a speedway track.
Interesting.
I know that we've got certain circumstances that, you know, maybe that's the reason it ended up going there, but I don't understand why a long track world championship is staged at a speedway track. Doesn't make any sense. World final on a 1,000-metre track, mate. That's what it's all about.
Proper long track.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's where you won your.
Well, that's it. And we had a Grand Prix, but we never had a speedway stadium. I mean, anyway, first semi-final. This is what it's all about. And I tell you what, Janowski's been going good tonight. Lindgren will be desperate to make the final. There's an opportunity here. Smarslik's got Gate 4 in the second semi-final. That's not really where you want to start from. But all of a sudden, for Lindgren and Woofenden, second and third in the world. This man, second in the world coming into tonight, Nige. This is an opportunity. If he makes the final, pressure on big time on Smarslik and Woofenden for semi-final number 2.
I reckon this is going to be something special. This is going to be a bit spectacular, this semi-final. There could be fireworks. We shall see. It's going to be a fantastic showdown. Semi-final 1 is coming next. Here we go. What a lineup. Expect anything. Mats Janowski off the inside. Freddie Lindgren, the world number 2 as of now. The second in the world standings. Freddie Lindgren off Gate 2 in blue. Max Frick goes off Gate 3 in white. Leon Madsen off the outside in yellow.
Oh, it's exciting times now. The racing really has livened up in the second half of the meeting. Really can't take your eyes off it. So many different permutations going on here. Riders' reputations, riders' futures on the line now. We've got tonight to go, the 2 semi-finals and a final, and of course we've got it all to happen again tomorrow as well. Double headers, I love them, Nige. I absolutely love them. Freddie Lindgren, you've got to be thinking this is a wonderful opportunity. Smarslik's got Gate 4 in the next semi-final. This man must lay down a gauntlet by making this final tonight.
Yeah, Smarslik watching keenly.
Pressure on.
Yep, so Gate 4 for the champ. of the second semi-final, the outside run. Now, here we go. First semi-final. Can that man heap the pressure on Bartosz Marslik? Can he make yet another final? Fast Freddie Lindgren in blue. Here we go. Janowski's nailed it from the start beautifully. Now here comes Lindgren in blue. Which Madsen almost comes off the bike again. Here's Max Frick up the inside of Freddie Lindgren. Oh my goodness me! Where has he found that from? Max Frick riding the race of his life. Janowski is second. Lindgren is third. Madsen trailing off at the back.
What an opening lap of speedway that was. Max Frick just coming from nowhere. Fired himself to the front. Superb ride from him. Janowski hanging on in second place. Freddie Lindgren almost coming down. How Leon Madsen stayed on in the first corner, I don't know. But he's out the back. He's going to miss out this time. Freddie Lindgren, he could miss out here. Max Frick. What a ride from the Aussie boy here.
This will be a huge boost to the watching Bartosz Marslik. His main rival at the moment, Freddie Lindgren, is not going to make the final. His night is going to end here and now.
Yeah.
Freddie Lindgren. But what a performance from Max Frick in white. Wonderful ride from him. Second place, Mats Janowski. Lindgren was third, and Madsen at the back, but just pleased to see Leon still on the bike.
Drama, real drama there. Freddie Lindgren misses a trick, no question about it. Didn't get away quite as well as he would have liked, because Janowski absolutely nailed the start, but Frick rode like a god there. That was a fabulous ride. Don't think he's ever ridden better.
Janowski second, Lindgren third, Madsen at the back. Wow.
Frick comes of age here in the Marianne Rose Arena. I'll get it out in a minute. What is it? The Marianne Rose Arena.
Marianne Rose Motor Arena.
There you go. You know how to say it. But Max Frick, that was a smashing ride from him. Janowski hanging on in second place. Freddie Lindgren just missing out. He'll be desperately disappointed, that, particularly if Smarslik makes it, but it does do Smarslik a favour, that's for sure. Here we see him again. Leon Madsen, how on earth he didn't run in the back of Frick and take him down. Frick's going to be very grateful when he sees the replay, because not only did he not get clouted by Leon Madsen in the first corner, he recovers beautifully in the first corner, charges down that back straight and goes from third to first. Look how close that was. I mean, that really, he's completely oblivious to it. But here he comes charging off the banking and was able to get up the inside of the two boys in front, and it puts paid to Freddie Lindgren's chances of the final. Right there, that split second. Janowski and Frick, the teammates from Wrocław, through to the final.
Yes, teammates indeed in Wrocław, where we had our opening 2 rounds of the World Championship, of course. Now, a huge race coming up. Semi-final 2. Woofenden third in the standings before tonight. Smarslik, the series leader, going off the outside gate in yellow. Wow, what a lineup. Woofenden, Vasilik, Sayfutinov and Smarslik. Vasilik and Sayfutinov will know that Doyle's night is over. There's a place in the top 6 on the line and an automatic spot for next year as well. There's all sorts of permutations.
So much to race for here. You just got to put your head down and go for it. Smarslik, you know, is going to give it absolutely everything. Gate 4, not ideal. Here we go.
And the result of this race will determine what points Freddie Lindgren has scored tonight.
He's not there.
It's all very tight in the first turn there. Here comes Smarslik up the inside run. And now Sayfutinov around the outside. It's all getting bunched up. Sayfutinov on the inside. He's got the speed on Woofenden. And Woofenden's back on the inside here. Oh, it's getting mighty close. Stay on your line, boys.
Unbelievable first lap from Bartosz Smarslik. It was nowhere off the start. He came charging through. He went from last to first by the end of the first lap. Sayfutinov now coming on strong. Woofenden, who made a great start off the inside. He's under pressure. Sayfutinov is really quick in third place.
Quicker. He's quicker.
He is indeed.
Trying the outside run, Sayfutinov. Smarslik, it's all coming right for him, because he knows that Lindgren won't be in the final. Almost came off the bike. Goodness me.
That's it.
But that'll do for Ty Woofenden.
Indeed.
So Smarslik and Woofenden, 2 of the top 3, are in the final.
Wow, what a turnaround of events. You've got to give Smarslik an awful lot of credit. He was right up against it going into heat 18, came good then. what a ride that was. Gate 4 is not a gate he would have picked if he had had the choice, but what a ride. His adrenaline must be absolutely flying round his body now. That was a ride of a champion there, Nige.
Smarslick's minimum score tonight is 14 points now. Wuffenden second, Saifutinov third, Vasilik at the back. We have got one heck of a final in prospect, folks.
Speedway out of the top drawer we got now, Nige. Proper stuff going on here. Tapes up. They go charging to the first corner. Wuffenden makes a good fist of it. It's tight, awfully tight. Vasilik could have gone down, but he stays up. But look at this from Smarslik. He's nowhere. Now he's second, but he keeps coming inside Futanov. Wow, he does well to stay upright. Wuffenden looking for the dirt on the outside. It doesn't quite work as much as he would have liked. And Smarslik covers all the angles here. Got tight here. Woofy had to really turn the bike hard there, otherwise he would have run in the side. He could have run up the side of him, but and then Saifutinov very nearly got the better of Tai Wuffenden, but it wasn't to be. And as hard as Saifutinov tried, he's pulling the tear off. He's all sorts of things going on there, but you've got to give Smarslik so much credit. He's been on his backside earlier tonight. He's ridden 3 different motorbikes, but when it really mattered, he has shown championship winning form here. He's won 3 rounds already. He came into the night leading it. If he wins tonight, then almost certainly he'll be world champion this year. What a turnaround for the champ.
If we focus on Lindgren, because we know what he's scored now, he's scored 11.
Okay.
Okay, this fella we know will score a minimum of 14. So he's going to be 3 points ahead of Lindgren in the points tonight, okay? And that means that it'll be 10 clear of Freddie going into the final round tomorrow. So here's the points. Emil 12, Freddie 11, Martin 10, Leon 9, Laguta 8, Doyley on 7. So from Doyley's point of view, Kelv, it's good that Vasilik...
So Smarslik's guaranteed 113?
Yes.
Okay, so you've got to say that 90, what he's on 103. So it's going to be 10 points in front of
Lindgren.
Said, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
that's and it all depends now on what Wuffenden does.
Yeah. I think Smarslik's in the driving seat here, big time, isn't he? You know, that win in Heat 18, creeping into the semi-finals on 9. When you look back at that now, how important was Heat 18? That could well be the defining moment in this year's championship chase, Nige.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
what a night, though. This has been so exciting in the last 8, 12 races. And Smarslik has shown us what it's all about. Winning world championships is never easy. No matter how much of a lead you've got, you've always got to come up against it. You would never have expected to see him on his backside when he got it wrong in his second ride. He then wasn't quite as convincing as he would have liked in the next 2. And Heat 18 is when he turned his fortunes around. And then coming out and winning that semi-final from nowhere. I mean, crikey, it doesn't get much better than that. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah. We've seen some terrific speedway tonight. Really have. It's been fantastic.
So Wuffenden, if he wins, if Wuffenden wins, he'll be on 109. That would still be 4 points behind, even if Smarslik runs 4th.
Yeah.
He would have a 4-point lead going into tomorrow night. That would be quite interesting if that were to happen.
Make it interesting, yeah. Absolutely right.
But either way, Smarslik can't lose the lead in the championship now.
Yeah. So we know he's going to, we know for sure he's going to be well and truly in the driving seat ahead of tomorrow night. He'd rather be in his position for sure.
Yeah, it'd be handy if he wins it, then obviously he will have a huge lead going into tomorrow night.
Yes, so it's all set up beautifully.
It won't be a winning lead tonight. He can't win it tonight.
He can't win it tonight,
no. He can't win it tonight.
No. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here now in terms of
but you've got to
give
Bartek a plenty of credit, haven't you?
Yes,
because he's had an indifferent night, and fair play to him the way he's turned that around in his last 2 rides.
Well, it's
yeah, I don't think anybody would have fancied Heat 18. You know, that lineup. And Freddie just missing out there in his first semi-final. Max Frick coming up with an absolutely stunning ride in the first semi-final. What a ride from him. And you just wonder whether that's going to convince the organisers. Max Frick for the win. Wow. Could he do it?
You got lingering on 103 now, Kelv?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just
yeah.
check.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Bartos?
Bartos, gate 3, yeah. Bartek.
Well, he can make it happen from anywhere, can't he?
Yeah, he can start outside the stadium and win a race. I think he's, yeah, that was a brilliant ride. So, Matvej Janovsky, I'm sure he'll go gate 2. Be surprised if he goes gate 4.
Yep. See what happens here.
I think I'd go gate 2.
I know you want gate 4.
Yeah, I think he was teasing Ty.
Well, Ty could do one of those big turnbacks. We've seen him do it before.
Yep, he's off gate 4, Ty Woffinden.
If he could win tonight, it would help.
Yes.
Of course it would.
Result, yeah.
And he's done remarkably well, Woffinden, with that problem with his hand. He's not fully fit, and he's riding very well, considering that. And he's keeping himself in the hunt here. The odds are against him, but you never know. And there's still racing to come tomorrow, of course. And when you see the unpredictability of what happened tonight, you could have imagined that Schmarzlik was going to do what he did when he got off his bike in the second race. You know, he could have got ridden over by Frick and game over.
I would think, and it can't be easy telling a rider to do this, but I would think that Schmarzlik has to, yeah, he'll go for the win, but also will there be that little bit of caution? Don't do anything silly. Don't get hurt.
Do you know what? I don't think he's got that in his
vocabulary.
vocabulary.
He's probably not, no.
Because we've seen that on a couple of occasions already in Prague, where he didn't have to go for a win, and he did. I think he's just a racer at heart, and I think that it might get him into trouble from time to time, but it may have done in that second race when he was maybe pushing a bit too hard. But
yeah,
I've got to believe that he's going to be... he'll be going for the win here.
I'll tell you what, Kel, the battle for the top 6 as well.
Tight.
Well, Doyley's on 76 in 5th. Vasilik 73, Emil 72. He's in 7th. But Janovsky will leapfrog all of them. So Jason will be 6th tonight. 3 points clear of Vasilik and 4 points clear of Emil.
Janovsky came into the night on 71.
He did.
So he'll have...
And he can get 14 here. He can move on to 85 if he finishes 4th here.
Yeah, so he's well in the top 6, you know.
Oh, there's no problem there.
No.
There's no problem there.
It's the battle for sort of 6th, 7th and 8th, isn't it? That's where the real battle for it.
It's down to a battle for 1 spot for next year.
Out of 3 riders.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that just adds fascination for me.
Brilliant. Oh, yeah, to us all, because that's Grand Prix survival on the line. You don't really want to be waiting until Monday of next week to hear whether you're in or out, do you?
No.
If you can secure it tomorrow night, happy days.
Just wonder what the calendar will look like next year. It's going to be fascinating to...
I shouldn't think anybody does know.
No, absolutely.
There must be one in place.
Well, we know Cardiff's set for July. We know Cardiff is set for July. And you would think, whatever the circumstances are, Cardiff is never full. We can only but hope that we can have
20,000,
30,000 maybe, yeah, something like that. So it's a question of whether it's viable then, isn't it?
Yes.
Unless a vaccine comes along and we can all just carry on as normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
We need that to be the cavalry, the pandemic.
I wish I was clever enough to find one. I think I'd be a pretty wealthy man.
I've been drinking methanol regularly. I think that might be the cure.
Well, you're all right. You're healthy, aren't you?
It's quite tough on you.
Is it?
Yeah.
But it protects you.
It protects me from it.
Yeah.
Max Frick, what a night he's had.
Are you sure it's only methanol you've been drinking?
Well, I don't know. It might be a bit of a cocktail. You never know. Might be a bit of tonic with it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go indeed.
Massive moment in the World Championship.
Yeah.
And if Ty Woffinden wins, he'll go on to 119. So if Schmarzlik finishes 4th then...
He'll have a 4-point lead.
He'll have a 4-point lead, which would set it up beautifully for tomorrow night. So let's see.
109 he'd be on, and he'd be on 113, yeah. So the Smarslik needs to be in the first 3, and he'll have a handy lead going into tomorrow night, whoever wins. Obviously, if Woofenden's behind him, that does him a favour as well.
Massive favour, absolutely. So it's the grand final. We've had a terrific night at Speedway. Round 7 to be decided here. Here we go with a hugely important grand final. Max Frick off the inside, Matt Sajanowski off 2, Bartosz Smarslik, the series leader, off 3, Ty Woofenden off the outside. We know worst case scenario, Bartosz Smarslik will move on to 123 points, 113 points tonight.
Yeah, that's worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario.
And the worst case scenario will mean that Woofenden wins, and he'd still have a 4-point lead in the championship. So he can't lose the lead. But if he can
make life a little bit more comfortable with a win here.
Of course he can, and he just really needs to beat Woofenden. That's the key thing, just to make sure that he keeps him at bay. Freddie Lingman's out of it. The other 2 lads cannot overtake him. So it's all about for Smarslik. He needs to beat Ty Woofenden to give himself a bit of breathing space going into tomorrow night.
A reminder, the points for the final: 20 for the winner, 18 for second, 16 for third, and 14 for finishing last in the final. So here we go. Torun, round 7, penultimate round of the 2020 World Championship. Here we go. Green light on.
Oh, he's missed it.
And away they go from the start. Janowski's made a good one. Now, although Smarslik's missed it, which way will he go here? Because he leads Woofenden. Here comes Woofenden up the inside. What a move from Ty Woofenden. He's got the lead on Bartosz Smarslik. Janowski is now trying the outside run. Yeah, Smarslik at the back, but how much longer will be at the back 4 as he charges up the inside of Woofenden and really puts a squeeze on it? This will be okay for Smarslik unless Woofenden can pass Janowski here and make progress.
Max Frick's in the lead.
Yeah.
Max Frick's going to win the Grand Prix. What a night from Max Frick. Unbelievable stuff from him. He's having the night of his life.
Have I not mentioned him yet?
You didn't know. We will now. Max Frick from the inside. What a night he's enjoying. Superb stuff. The 2 teammates, in actual fact, first, second and third to Wrocław here. They're all teammates in the Extraliga. Smarslik just missed out. He made a bad start and he's paid the price. But for Max Frick, it's going to be the night of his life so far.
Yep, down to the line. Oh, just about straight on.
He nearly threw it away. What a night for Frick.
Yeah.
He comes good when he really needed to. He rode superbly well in the semi-finals. Of course, the championship must take precedence as well. We must give it some time. But for Max Frick winning his first Grand Prix, I think we may see a bit more of this young man in the future. Got to have half a chance now. He's a winner of a Grand Prix to be a wild card for next year. He has done it right at the right time. Congratulations to him.
And Bartosz has an 8-point lead in the title race going into tomorrow night. 113, Woofenden 105, Lindgren 103.
Yeah.
So big result. Well done, Max Frick. Congratulations. Wonderful result. And apologies that I didn't even mention him until lap 3.
Well, Max Frick, he will be chuffed to bits. He must have felt the pressure coming into tonight with Jack Holder, home rider, the wild card, grabbing all the headlines. And Max Frick has come up with a wonderful display. The inside gate work's a treat for him. He rode so well in the semi-final. I mean, wow. And look at this from Woofenden, that customary turn back in the first corner from him. And he gets himself momentarily into second place, but Janowski's got the run round the outside. I tell you what, the management at Wrocław will be excited about this. The first 3 in Torun on the first night, handy result for them.
I'm not sure. It might cost them a few more slotties next season.
Well, yeah, maybe they're regretting it. Yeah, maybe their joy has turned to tears as they realise that it's going to cost them a few quid. Smarslik made a bad start here. You could clearly see he missed it, and as though he tried hard, he was there amongst it, but he just didn't quite have himself in the right place. And with Woofenden doing that move, he was always struggling for points.
So Smarslik leads on 113. Woofenden is second on 105, 8 behind Smarslik. Lindgren is on 103, 10 behind Smarslik. And then there's a gap to Janowski on 89, 14 behind Lindgren. Madsen 79. Jason Doyle is in the 6th and final automatic spot for next year on 76. Only 3 ahead of Vasilik and only 4 ahead of Emil Sayfutdinov. Artem Laguta's on 68. And Max Frick has put himself up to 10th in the World Championship standings on 60 points tonight. There's confirmation of tonight's result. And a terrific night of Speedway. Well done to the riders. We started off relatively slowly, I'm sure everyone agrees, but after 8 races, when they ripped the outside of the track up, I think we saw some top draw Speedway, to quote the man alongside me in Torun. Well done, Max Frick. Terrific performance. Brilliant. Great result in that young man's career, and what a night for Australia with Max winning the Grand Prix and Jamin Lidzi, the new World Under-21 champion.
Well, let's not get too excited.
Why?
They're Aussies.
Oh, OK.
They're the enemy. No, they've done remarkably well.
Brilliant, yeah.
And I'm pleased for Max Frick. He's ridden well this season, but it's not easy in the Grand Prix. And what a night for him. And
they're not just good at cricket, are they?
No, they're good at Speedway as well.
Yeah.
They've got a fantastic record in Grand Prix. But Max Frick, what a night for him. A night he's really come of age.
Yeah, we'll speak to the winner, of course. Ty Wofford there in 3rd spot. Let's hear from the winner now, Max Frick. Congratulations to him.
My goodness me, Max Frick, where did that come from? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been such a tough year so far, and you know, to come out here, I've been feeling really good all day, and you know, I just can't believe at this point. It's been a dream to come out and win a Grand Prix, especially one in a stadium like this at Torun. So I've been coming here for a few years, and it's always been a dream. So I just can't believe it right now.
Well, your dreams come true. Your first Grand Prix win, Max. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It wouldn't be possible without the help of everyone, all my sponsors, everything. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Well done.
Great night for Frick. Delighted for him. And let's hope he can kick on now and that he gets an invite back for next year. A very timely win, as I've said before. Here we see the standings now, Nige.
113 plays 105, 8 points.
Handy
in
lead.
Last year's system, it'd be double that. It'd be 16 clear.
Right.
So it's game on tomorrow night still.
It is.
Smarslik the clear favourite. Surely he won't let it slip, but... And Freddie Lindgren on 103 now. Is that Freddie's title challenge done, Kelf?
Yes. I'd be very surprised if it's a turnaround of so many points. Of course, it can still happen, and the racing has been unpredictable tonight. That man, he will savour these moments. He'll be staying locally, of course. They all will be, because they're back here tomorrow night. He can't get on the lash tonight, can he? Because he's got a race tomorrow, but I'm sure he'll have a beer to celebrate with his team, and congratulations to all concerned.
What a great expression.
Brilliant.
On the lash.
On the lash. Lads, lads on the lash.
Yes.
Maybe they'll be in that boozer, which is when you turn left and just down on the left.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do. Anyway, brilliant night for you. Here's the national anthem.
Special moment for Max Frick. Congratulations to him. A wonderful evening. He's a terrific rider, he really is, and it's been inconsistent, but bear in mind it's been his first full year,
never easy,
full season as a Grand Prix rider, and he's won a round. So I think he can look back now with a personal sense of satisfaction after this result tonight, which really puts a different complexion on his season.
Totally, it transforms it, Nigel, because now when they sit down to make decisions for next year with who gets the picks, his name will very much be in the frame for that. And as I say, it's a timely reminder, and quite appropriate with the sponsor there. Here we see Ty Woofenden.
Yeah, good night for Ty. He's ridden nicely tonight, I felt.
Rock
Started
solid.
with a 0, didn't he?
Rock solid.
Started with a 0 and came back well.
Third place on the night, second place. Janowski second tonight. They all know each other really well. They're really good mates, this lot, actually. And they've been riding together for a few years, particularly Woofenden and Janowski. They've been at Wrocław for some time now. But Janowski, a runner-up, of course, he's won a Grand Prix already this year. Back to form for Janowski. If only he could find the consistency, I'm sure he will challenge.
Look at that trophy. He's not going to get that in hand luggage, is he?
For when he hasn't got to go anywhere.
Oh,
he
no,
lives
he
here,
can drive home from it. I never thought of that.
And that will just about go in his boot of his sports car, that's for sure. But Max Frick, what a night for Max. The Aussies are doing the business. They've won the Under-21 World Champion. They've won the Grand Prix tonight. They won the British final.
Rory Schleim.
Earlier on. Rory Schleim wins the British final earlier in the week. What a week for the Aussies. But particularly for Max Frick, this is a defining moment in his career. And he will be chuffed a bit.
Yeah, back in the UK, I'm sure Mark Lemon and Adrian Smith and the Bellevue management will all be feeling a sense of pride tonight.
Of course they will, yes.
And Edinburgh as well. They started him in the UK. Max Frick, they gave him his first opportunity as a professional rider in Europe, Edinburgh Monarchs. So they can take a sense of satisfaction from this as well.
Absolutely right. Edinburgh, a technical track, and to learn your trade there is a very good place to learn your trade up there. And Max Frick has done that. And as I say, the rides in the semi-final, when it came through like that, I mean, wow. You know, he actually put pay to Freddie Lindgren there. He just came charging up the inside, and Freddie struggled from that moment on and missed the final. But for Max Frick, that was what it was all about. And suddenly he had that bit of cutting edge about him tonight that saw him through, and that's what you need at this level. Not easy always to find, but Max Frick in his mid-20s now, really coming of age here and taking the limelight, deservedly so.
And just a final thought, Kel, before we let you go. Looking forward to tomorrow now. Set up beautifully.
Yeah.
Great way to spend a Saturday night tomorrow.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Can't wait for it, in actual fact. Torun coming good again here this evening.
We'll see you tomorrow, Kel. Round 7, penultimate round of the 2020 FIM World Speedway Championship was at the Marianne Rose